Live from the Streamline Mortgage Solutions studio, it's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Hello, this is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Welcome to the Friday free show of A Mediocre Time.
Hey, it is the Friday free show of A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for a minute because I'm controlling everything, but I'll explain it since I've got the buttons. We are live, but Tom is live via Zoom at his house. Sam is live via Zoom at her house. My wife is here on the all COVIDed up guest couch, and I'm in control by myself, peeing with the door open, ladies and gentlemen. And as soon as this, I'm going to go ahead and fade this down. I'm just going to go in here and use iTunes to do this so we can get it out of the way. And I'm just going to go ahead and skosh it out. Okay, and bye-bye. We'll get that out of here, and then I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to pause that. And here's the show. This is what we've been reduced to, folks. This is it.
It's funny. Last time I watched the intro video, I had COVID too. It was the only other time
Right.
I watched the intro video.
Yeah.
And I'm like watching. I'm like, that's pretty good. Because normally in the studio, I don't see it. You know?
It's a damn fine video. Ono Radio Show, Ono Media. They did a really good job. Sorry if I'm a little frazzled, and now I'm going to try to ease into my chair and calm down a little bit, but getting things going when you guys aren't here, oddly enough, it's very strange for me. I am a workflow boy.
Yeah.
You
I
like
mean,
your
you've been
routine.
doing the same routine every single week for so long. Same thing for me too. It's hard. Like yesterday, we recorded ACTs, and we got through it, but it's just different doing it mobile, you know?
Yeah, I don't
Do
like
yourself
it.
a favor and go to our YouTube channel and watch Friday's ACT where Tom shows us all his trash.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
people
You know,
loved it.
It was
I-
embarrassing that, okay, you had a couple things helping you. Number one, the resolution of your camera, because your internet is so terrible, was actually fogging out and making it look like it was helping
Like you were censoring your trash.
Yeah, you had like Japanese porn technology on your side for your garage.
Like it was blurring out.
Yeah,
the,
it was like blurring
extreme
the
atrocities.
It was blurring the pink and blurring the pubes.
No,
You
it
know?
was blurring his work napkins, his workbench napkins.
Oh, that was so funny. Go back and watch his workbench napkins. Oh, it's hilarious. I forgot about that. Well, you were watching that?
Yes,
You know about his napkins?
I was building IKEA furniture while you guys were doing that show, and I had to stop and just shake my head.
Yeah. It's a good
I
video.
shame cleaned my garage yesterday after that
Oh.
show. Which I normally I like anything on the show doesn't affect me, and I like making fun of myself. I laugh at it. But yesterday when I was showing you guys the garage, and,
It
and we
bothered
were
you.
laughing. Well, I sat there and I was like, I can't live like this. What the hell am I doing? And then I went outside. It was hot as hell yesterday too, and sweated the rest of my COVID out.
That's good.
And I didn't even really make a dent. I just made big, tall, like pathways.
Well, that's what hoarders do. We've been saying, you're like, I'm not a hoarder. I just do everything that hoarders do exactly as they do.
Can
it.
I ask, like, when you say you
I'm not a
clean-
hoarder. I just collect a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
When
You're a
you
big
say
pun of hoarding.
You clean. Now, did you throw away anything, or did you just pile it on top of each other, like move it to different locations? You pick stuff up, put stuff down.
I piled a bunch of shit in Crystal's car. So now,
Well, that's fucked up. Why would you do that?
Well, because we have to donate it, and we have like
Don't
we have
donate.
tons of
Just throw it away, man.
No, well, okay. Crystal doesn't like to waste things, and
I understand
agree.
that, but let me help you out. There's two things I've eliminated this year, 2022. No more donations to homeless people in shelters or any of that because it's fake, and no more recycling. That's fake too. Those two things are out. I'm trash only.
Honestly, Tom lives less than a mile from the Salvation Army donation place.
Yeah,
so
I think if you live less than a half a mile from the Salvation Army donation thing, you're actually a Salvation Army.
It's closer than the dump. We've said it for years. Like, it's easier for me to donate the stuff than to throw it away, especially because my garbage men hate me already because.
Oh, you didn't make up?
I told the story.
You didn't make up with them yet?
I haven't tipped them like I said I was going to.
God, Tom, it's been a year.
God, Jesus
I
Christ.
never have cash when I remember that they're coming, and so
Just give them
I'm
some
like,
Dusty Modelos.
I need to tip them like a 10 each, and then like I'll have a 20.
10.
no more.
Yeah, more than 10.
My
Well,
God,
there's three-
cheap.
You're a cheapskate.
Yeah,
what are you,
man.
Seth Petrozelli?
Yeah, good
By
Lord.
this time, I think a 50 each.
Yeah, a 50
50?
each. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They deal with a lot.
A lot of your junk.
Especially with you. I mean, you're the only guy that's got a collection of hoarding trash.
You know, my trash pickup just went up this year. Crystal told me. She's like, "Oh, we got a letter in the
checks
mail. The trash is now $60 more a year."
Who? Okay,
you're
who-
causing
wait,
that.
Who asked that? Was that you or Sam that asked who checks if their trash goes up?
I did. I said,
Because
why?
the answer to that is hoarders. That's the
Right.
answer. Is that the
they
people
need
that are concerned the most about trash are the people that collect trash. Hoarders.
But it's the cheapest thing, like government wise, we pay for a service that
No.
should be more expensive.
The
At least for me,
the
Like,
library.
I think the post office.
yeah.
I'm a post office guy. Like, it's still amazing to me that you can take, like, okay, we got a check today from a client, right? Thousands of dollars came through the mail for like less than $1. To me, I'm like, that's awesome. I got $1,000 for less than $1.
That is unbelievable.
That's crazy.
You could mail a letter for 50 cents from here to Hawaii, and someone will deliver it.
Yeah.
Hand deliver it.
Yeah, I
50 cents?
I like the mail. Oh my God, dumb old man, hit the button.
Anyway, they'll. I appreciate the trash service, and I should.
Thank you.
tip them.
Not enough to tip.
I think
I know.
my wife bent over to hit the dumb old man button and her pussy fell out.
Whoa.
It's a skort. It has
Let's
shorts
talk
under it.
about Cafe Da Vinci tonight.
Yes.
Daniel and Sam will be out there. What time you guys showing up?
Well, I believe Little Stranger goes on first. Then you have True Phonic. That is a BDM band, so we gotta give them some love.
yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we got to give them some love. I'm gonna try and stay as long as humanly possible tonight. But yeah, I think Little Stranger goes on first. Then True Phonic. What time are you heading out there, Sam?
I'm gonna get there around 8:30.
Okay, cool. I'll shoot for that as well. But yeah, I don't know if some people have been talking about meeting up at a place beforehand. I think I'm okay in saying this. Dan Stone's coming out tonight, so Tom, you get to miss.
Nice.
You miss somebody. I know you're gonna be bummed because Dan never comes out. I think he's riding his motorcycle out.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I am bummed. I wanted to go out and see everybody.
I'm sorry,
Plus, our
dude.
first event ever in DeLand.
We'll have more. We'll have more for
I
sure.
know.
The
We'll
featured
get-
merch this week, I got to plug this because this is really cool. This one actually is the one that, this one hurts a little bit because we're selling the T&D racing hats and there's only a couple left, but they're only $20 a piece. So that's normally like a $50 hat and you're getting them it's $10 off. So like, I think when they first rolled out, they were like $40.
Yeah, you can get a $20 awesome hat by
Yep.
Dome. And plus, Eric's going to be out tonight at Cafe Da Vinci's. He's going to be out there at 7 selling merch and stuff. So
Yep.
if you want to buy something tonight, you can.
Here's
get that.
another piece. I'll give you some behind the scenes that normally would be reserved for only BDMs. I'm also picking up the prototypes for the all fitted baseball hat that we're going to do with Dome this year. And some of you guys have seen the logo that the Danger Brains have been kind of tossing around. If you're not in the know, maybe sign up to be a BDM if you're not, so you can check out that artwork. But I'll have the prototypes of the new Dome hat that we'll be doing later this year.
Oh, real quick, I got a funny. So there's this. It's not anybody who lives on my street, but there's this older man that walks a tiny dog by my house most mornings. And I
I'm
see
right
him
here. I'm right here.
yeah. Old men like tiny dogs
Oh, yeah.
too. And you could tell this guy is a real man, and he's been commenting on my sod transformation as I've been digging it
sod.
up and
Sod
laying all-
transformation. Wow. This is like, remember that show, The Swan, where they took like a fat, ugly person and they turned him
Oh God, it was so problematic.
Yeah, I might go back and watch that based on your sod, but yeah, continue.
So on Tuesday, this is earlier this week, I woke up in the morning. I knew I was like, oh, I feel like shit. And then I took the test and it was a red line immediately, right? Because now I've taken so many COVID tests, you could watch it.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, you sit there, you're like, oh, it's getting there, and then it's like, oh, is that red line? Anyway, so I was like, yeah, and I felt like I had a cold, but it didn't feel that bad. Anyway, later on that day, I was out digging in my yard again because I can't just sit inside the house.
Is this you? Okay, you digging in the yard. Is that me going upstairs and playing my electric drum set?
Yeah, I have to do something. I can't just sit around and do nothing. Like, it drives me insane. And unless the last time I had COVID, I felt like pure shit. So I just lay down. But this time I was like, I have a cold, but I go outside and, I wasn't digging too hard. I was just like filling in some spots of sod in my yard and like putting this little border.
Just doing surveying, doing some maintenance, doing some looking.
Old man tinkering around.
Yeah, I do that. I do that with the Tesla. I look and poke. I scratch a little turd off of the car, a little polish.
But I mean, I was digging, and then I was trying to like dig this mud up and put it in another place. Anyway, so I have like I'm out there sweating and it's hot as shit, and this old man comes with his dog, and then he's like, "Oh, I see you finished your sod. Good job. It looks good." He's like, "I hope it takes. I'm rooting for you."
I'm rooting for you.
What a negative old man.
Is that a sod joke? I'm rooting for you.
Oh, that's good.
And so as he's standing on the sidewalk walking up with his dog, and I'm standing in my front yard. So he keeps walking closer to me to talk to me. So as he gets closer, I stand up. I had earbuds in, and then so I turn my earbuds off, and then I tell him I'm like, "Oh, thanks." And he gets closer, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to give you COVID. I got COVID right now." And then
what
he's
the
like,
fuck?
"I don't care." No, he's like, "I don't care about that." And then he's just.
I love that you tell this dumb old man walking through your neighborhood, but you didn't tell Brendan O'Connor.
No, I text Brendan.
Well, you did.
We forgot.
I text Brendan. We forgot.
That legitimately slipped our mind. Like, I didn't even. Yeah. I mentioned it to Andrea. Everything. Like, we went through everything and just completely. It's because Brendan is like a newer person kind of floating in our space, and I'm like, I didn't even think of it. I feel terrible.
He's fine. I talked to him yesterday. So then I'm standing there, and the old man is like getting closer and closer to me.
I want it. Spit in my mouth.
So as he's talking to me, I start to think, I'm like, did he hear me say I have COVID, or did he hear me say I don't want to give you COVID, and thinking that I'm just being overly cautious, like it's 2020 again, and we're always supposed to be 6 feet.
Right.
But I don't want to interrupt because he's telling me all about the sod and the Seville and drought tolerant and all the shit, the grass talk. But he's now within the 6 foot barrier. So I take my shirt that I had hanging off my pants. And then I'm like,
you had your shirt hanging off your pants? What are you, Snoop Dogg?
So I start I'm trying not to breathe in this guy's face, and I'm so I'm like looking up, I'm looking around as he's talking to me.
Look up, then your nostrils are looking right at him.
I'm like, I don't want to give you
Look
COVID,
down.
old man.
Don't make me give you COVID, old man.
And then I'm like taking my shirt, and then I'm like patting my face and like trying to breathe
like
into
a
my
cowboy,
shirt.
like a cowboy drinking at a watering hole, like where you dab.
And then he moseys on down the sidewalk, but I'm like, That guy was pretty close for a good 1 minute of talking to him in the front yard.
But
I
knowing
may have given him COVID.
knowing you the way that I think I know you, and your tight knit kind of street community, and I've met all these people, and they're all real. So when the listeners ask me, like, Dr. Ghoul, Pappy Ghoul, CrossFit Johnny, the Muscle Man, she moved with the black lady with a knife in her brassiere.
Catman.
Catman. All these people are real people. If you found out through the neighborhood, telephone game that man did get COVID and died, would you feel guilty?
Yes.
Would you take his dog in?
No.
All right.
Crystal would, though.
Yeah. You'd have yourself a bitey.
He's fine. Well, we'll never find out. If I don't see him again walking, I'll know. So yesterday I did clean my garage a little bit, and I loaded up Crystal's car with all this donate shit that she has to take over to the Salvation Army or Goodwill. And I know we've talked about this before, but
the difference between the two?
They watch you now.
Yeah.
They used to let you just unload the stuff and leave, but now there's someone there that watches you and will say,
Hey, that's a bag of trash.
I have absolutely never had that happen. And I just donated like 2 bags of stuff like a month ago. They literally wheeled out a big cart. They're like, we'll take it from here. We just threw it in the cart and they wheeled it off.
Maybe
I've never had anyone watch me take anything out or ask any kind of questions or tell me they don't take anything.
I bet they have Tom's pictures up in the warehouse. If you see this guy, don't accept his donations.
Maybe you're a repeat offender.
Yeah.
I think I live in a worse neighborhood than Sam.
It must be. I don't know.
Because I think in Castleberry they're like, these people are just leaving us trash, and like they'll tell me, like I'll open up my back like Crystal's Traverse, and then I'll start loading stuff into the bin, and there'll be a Mimo there looking and then like telling me we don't take that either, and then I'll have to put it back in the car.
How awkward is that?
So that's why you should just cut out the middleman, throw it straight in the trash, right?
Yeah, just go to the trash, because it's way more embarrassing to unload your trash twice in front of grandma's than it is just to throw it away.
You go ultimate dumb old man and get a barrel and burn it in your backyard.
Yes. Oh. Damn, you're full of good ideas.
It's not. It's all plastic. It's not wood.
Yeah, plastic's the best stuff to
It
burn
melts.
because everything else, when you burn organic things, the smoke is so clear. But if you burn, if you burn a plastic Orlando Rage football helmet, you get that jet black smoke that almost becomes a solid in the air. It's amazing.
Also, there's this thing that I think is frowned upon, but I have a small backyard, but I treat it like it's some big backyard, like that I could just do whatever I want. America.
That's kind of how Andrea treats me. Small husband, but she treats me like, I'm a king.
Like I'll have fire. Like last year, I got a fire pit, and then I built a fire, and
inside your pool enclosure too, which is weird.
And then the neighbor probably sees like tall flames come. Like it's too small of a yard to be building a fire, really. Like it's in a regular suburb neighborhood. Like this is not out in fucking Titusville or Christmas, Florida, or whatever.
Let me ask you something. I've thought about this lately too, because now is the time when it's intensely hot in Florida. I start thinking about I love the heat, but then when it's really hot, I start kind of fantasizing about it being cold. Would it be acceptable for me to put a small fire pit on my balcony, but I would always attend it? I would never leave it.
Ooh.
Never leave it.
I think the HOA would get you.
I've thought about it before. I've thought about putting a tiny little fire pit on there with just a dirt flame. No, just something easy to look at. I'll have a bottle of water out there.
Could you do it in the parking lot in the back?
I've thought of that too.
Of your house, in just one parking space.
That's way more trashy than just the little splash pad that we've done out there before. Too.
Yeah, we trash it up, but I think that's chef's kiss trash.
From the chat room, that there are some BDMs that would like a swap shop. They would like you to host where everybody can bring their junk and then just trade it around.
Oh, a junk
We
trade.
have brought this idea up before. We never followed through with it though.
Junk trade.
Because then that's where you could do it, and then you just throw away whatever doesn't get swapped.
Here's the problem. People think their junk is worth way more than it is. And that's the problem.
No, you
It's like,
swap junk. I give you my junk, and I'll swap it for your junk.
We got enough
Because we
medium
want
swapping
that.
junk, if you know what I mean. We need them to like.
That's how you get COVID.
Yeah, we actually need them to stay in their marriages, for Christ's sake.
Let me ask you guys this. I think I've told the story before, but this goes kind of in the line of what people think their junk is worth more than it is. I had a buddy one time in college. He asked me because I had a pickup truck. He's like, "Can you come over and help me take this?" It was like a bar with 4 high top stools. It was the one that I had in Deltona. I don't know if you remember that, Daniel, next to my hot tub.
I do remember that. We called that Fly Alley.
Yeah. And he was like, "Can you help me take this to the dump?" Because he was moving to California. So I was like, "Yeah, I'll help you." So I go there to his house, and he's got it already by the curb, right? And so I go there, and then I'm like, "Oh, this thing's pretty nice." I think I was like, instead of taking it to the dump, I may just take it home with me and put it in my back patio. And then he looked at me, and he's like, $40. And I'm like, "Fuck you, 40! You're gonna take it to the dump?" And that's mentally ill cheap. He knew, like, it changed the value in his head. Like, once he asked me for a favor, I was gonna take it to the dump. And then when I got to his house, once I expressed interest in it, then he was like, "Oh, this is valuable to him, $40." Like, that's nuts.
You and I know a guy. You might get mad at me if I tell this story. You and I know a guy that got a bike donated to him by a listener, and then he like wiped it down and then flipped it for like $300. And the listener didn't have a pot to piss in.
No.
True story.
Now you could say that he recognized some value and
He did.
Took advantage of
did.
it. It's basic capitalism, but it does look cheese dick.
Cheese dick.
It's very
Me and Daniel call
Cheese
things
dick.
like that
Yeah,
cheese dick.
that is cheese dick for sure. Yeah.
It's a cheesy and like
Dickhead
petty
move.
Well, not even
Yeah.
dickhead. It's just petty.
I almost support it. There's a part of me that supports it. You know, I'm like, I understand what you're doing there, but it's cheese dick.
Hustling, yeah.
Because I mean, the guy. Well, but also, if you already have money, then it's like, what do you? Like, you're trying to like get a couple bucks you can find anywhere around.
Yeah.
Like, it seems beneath you at some point to try to like flip stuff for an extra $20 or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, I know you guys don't really sell much stuff on like Facebook or Craigslist or whatever, but at this point in time, I don't usually post anything under $100. Like, I'm not going back and forth with someone on Facebook Marketplace for $40 and so they can come and offer me 15 for it or whatever. Like, it's just not worth the time at some point.
Do you still do that a lot? Do you and Crystals, like I was gonna say, like that heyday was probably somewhere between 2005 and like I want to say it kind of dried up 2018 or so, right? Like I said, like 15 years of Craigslist had a good run. Is that done now?
Well, most stuff we just give away. I usually give away in the BDM page because, like I said, it's like I could probably sell it for $50 or $100, but it's not. I'd rather just give it to a BDM. But I will say there's 2 things in the garage that I was contemplating putting on Facebook Marketplace, and they're the tow behind bicycles that we got for the boys that like attached to the back of your bicycle that they ride. Has like one wheel, and then the front, instead of a wheel, it just attaches to your bicycle seat.
Yeah,
right?
just so they can kind of roll behind you.
Yeah. I mean, they're basically, they're used, but I got all the pieces and they work fine. And they were like $150 a piece when I bought them. So I feel like I could sell them on Facebook Marketplace for $150 for both. but I'm like wavering whether I should do that or not. I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
is it worth that your time and effort to go back and forth with somebody over these bicycle parts?
I mean, usually my transaction, like the first person that offers to buy them, I'm like sold. Come pick them up, and then whatever. And even if they come and they offer me $20 less, I'm like, that's fine. Get it out of here, you know. So it's not that much work. And $100 is $100.
Yeah, $100, $100.
But then I don't know. It's like, is it worth the 1,000? Is this still available? Messages you get from people that, and then you say yes, and then it just ghosts you forever.
So do people still use Craigslist though for like? Is that where you like get rent, or is that mostly now just for hookups?
No, I mean people still sell stuff on Craigslist the whole time.
I mean, like
I would assume
you and I used to search it all the time. Like I don't go on there. I haven't been on there in a year at least to just like I used to go on there to kill time. You know, like you'd go on there or get the app and just scroll through and see what's there. But there's so much other stuff to look at now that, you know, it's even Craigslist has to get in line as a subscription, you know?
Yeah. And it looks like a lot of people prefer Facebook Marketplace only because you could see someone's profile that they're selling. Like there is Craigslist.
That's true. Yeah.
You just get text. So it's like, it's sketchier in nature. Facebook Marketplace is like, you see a mom selling a stroller or something, and then you go to her profile and you're like, oh, she has a family, she has kids. This is, you know, it's like you could see who is offering to sell you this. So I think people prefer that. But nowadays, like you go to Facebook Marketplace and a lot of businesses promote their stuff through there. So like half of it is actually stores selling stuff.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, it's kind of the Wild West where it's not really only people anymore. Like a lot of people are using it as marketing for their business or whatever the hell they do. You know, there's people that just now like buy and sell stuff for a living or whatever.
I remember that I had a problem with that when people on eBay, when stores started linking their stores to eBay. This is how fucking stupid I am. Or how weird. I guess I'm not stupid. I'm just smart enough to make myself crazy. Stores would connect to eBay, and then I'd go to buy something. Let's say I was buying like an Xbox Series X, and I'd go in there and I'd be like, "Ooh, I found one!" And I'd go to bid or like go to like buy it now, and then it would like connect to like Video Game Depot, and I'd be like, "Fuck you, Video Game Depot! I'm not falling for that. I'm not buying from you. I'm only buying from a person." Like why does it matter? You know what I mean? Like why would it even matter? Like I don't know why I was so weirded out by that.
Because I think the idea is you're buying it peer to peer, and then you're getting some sort of deal. If you're buying it from a company, you realize there's a markup.
Yeah,
which is, I don't know, it's stupid because it shouldn't matter. It's like
right,
whatever the hell the price is, that's what you're interested in.
But I hated it. Like I would see that, I would get so angry. I'd be like, well, I'm not buying from them. I'm gonna find one where the photos look a little like more like real, like a real human. And then by that time, eBay was not something I used anymore.
Yeah. So you before the show started, you mentioned that Will Smith came out with some apology video.
Oh, what
is it? I didn't watch this.
Okay,
yeah. Shout out to Sherry who sent that to me this morning.
Yeah, thanks to Sherry. She dropped it in our email. Do you want me to load it up and we can play it? I have it ready to go.
It's on People. So Tom is convinced though, but that
let me see if I can find
Chris
this.
Rock hasn't talked about it. He said he's not ready to talk about it in length, but he has at his Madison Square Garden appearance recently. He did talk about it a little bit, but yeah, Will Smith apologizes to Chris Rock in a new video.
Here's a little bit. It's only 5 minutes long, so just tell me if you want to pause, okay?
Why didn't they edit this?
Okay, that's by design. Great question. Andrea said, why don't they edit this? The chitter chatter in the background makes it seem more real. This is all to humanize the weirdo that is Will Smith. I got a hard take on this because okay, just listen to the chitter chatter. Big, long, drawn out sigh. He was like, almost like he's crying, like a.
Well,
Yeah, so there's some text on the screen that
Yeah.
says it's been a minute over the last few months. Oh, it disappeared. Hold on.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I-
Hold on.
You're
There you
good.
go. There you go.
you're right though. They wanted to make it seem like this is a more real, like impromptu.
It's so dramatic.
Yeah, it's
I'm
so
sure,
framed.
I'm sure as time goes by, I'm sure his publicists at first were like, "This will blow over. We'll be fine. We'll just give it a minute," and then it's just not blown over, and people just continually hate this guy more and more. And then I'm sure he is panicking that this has ruined his entire career, which it seems like it has. Like it seems like there may not be any coming back for Will Smith. Like other celebrities, like
I don't know. I think he will. I think especially after this, because I was looking at the comments on this video and people were like very supportive of him.
Yeah, it seemed like he's getting the positivity dump now. We'll see where it shakes out. But like we haven't even gotten to the video yet when I was watching it this morning. And immediately I was already like cringing about
He's
it.
an
Like,
actor.
Yeah.
Like like even with the chitter chatter and then the lady you can hear like publicity, okay, you ready to go? And then you hear this, you hear, and I'm like, come on, dude, that's the dumb acting bullshit that I do when I'm
gonna
doing
cry.
a fucking dumb character. You know, that's like, there's nothing genuine about that. And then we haven't even gotten to the video yet. Like, watch this first question, okay? This is all I ask. We don't even have to do the whole video, just this first question. Here we go. Sitting down.
It's very produced.
Why didn't you apologize to Chris in your acceptance speech?
So he's claiming he's taking like fan questions or whatever.
Like I like how he pretends like this is not vetted.
Like he's
or-
never
Yeah.
read it.
Yeah, yeah, that's why, and that's all I needed to see. Now I watched the whole video,
Yeah.
but all I needed to see was Will Smith walk in. This is an Oscar-winning actor, and go, "Why didn't you quit? What the hell are you doing?
He's pretending like
Take
he's
his
reading it for
Oscar.
the first time.
Take his Oscar. Bad acting. Fucking terrible. Terrible. I was so mad when I saw it. I'm like, God damn, you're terrible. You are terrible. Your beard's terrible. You're terrible."
Somebody said, "Why does he look like Tiger Woods? Why is he dressed like Tiger Woods?"
He did look like Tiger Woods. He does.
Because Tiger Woods came back from Scandal. Is that what they're?
I don't know. Do you want to hear any more of this? Hey, we're going to be inundated by it. Or maybe not. Maybe we've moved on.
I mean, what does he say? I mean,
He just says it was foggy, and then he just does the... here, just a little more. Here we
Yeah.
go.
I was fogged out by that point. It's all fuzzy. I've reached out to Chris, and the message that came back is that he's not ready to talk, and when he is, he will reach out. So I will say to you, Chris, I apologize to you. My behavior was unacceptable, and I'm here whenever you're ready to talk.
I don't like that either.
Yeah, I don't either.
So he gives a public apology to Chris in this produced video. Fuck that.
Yeah, I don't want
camera angles.
I don't want to ever be the type of person.
4
and
to
I
5 months later.
Yeah, I think Sam and Tom and my wife will even agree. I never want to be the type of person where if you want to apologize to me, I'm like, yeah, fuck you, fuck your apology. You know what I mean? But this one, I'm watching it and I'm like, I don't even know if this helped, man. Like it was almost better when you just kind of sailed away. Like this is weird. Like the breathing, the posturing, the way your body looks, how you look, it doesn't seem casual. It doesn't even seem like you're at any, to me, this is just me talking. I don't even think you're any different than the way you looked the night when you did it and you looked all crazy. You still look crazy.
I think it doesn't even matter. It's funny because this is all stupid, right? With like
Totally.
real people, and I say real people because these people.
Well, non-celebrities, we have bigger problems.
Exactly. Everybody's got way bigger problems and way more serious shit, and basically every problem that anybody's listening to this has is a bigger problem than Will Smith slapping Chris Rock or whatever. And it's a nothing. We all just like realize like, this guy's a dickhead, and I don't like him very much, and it's changed public perception of him, and I don't think it's ever going back, which is weird because like other celebrities have gone through a controversy and done shit. I mean, look at Mel Gibson. Like there's recordings of him screaming like a madman and saying like anti-Semitic stuff to police officers,
calling them sugar tits and
like treating his old girlfriend.
I support sugar tits, but
and it seems like, and I know it's been a long time, and maybe 5 years from now people won't care anymore. But I don't. It seems like it exposed the fact that Will Smith is pretending to be a human being, and like his entire personality is just like seemingly fake in some weird way, and he's like this fake positive guy. But anyway, it's just unlikable, and it doesn't seem like, unless he changes it the way he is, that he's ever going to be liked as much as he was before.
I would agree with that. The chat room, Christine in the chat room brings up a good point. She says, look, man, people are weirdly demanding apologies for incidents they weren't directly involved in. So many people called for the head and demanded an apology from Will Smith, except the person who was slapped. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think he even needs to apologize. I thought it was better handled when he just kind of said, oh, I fucked up. Bye-bye.
Also, Chris Rock, he doesn't even really care. He's going to make $5 million off his next comedy special.
He'll make more. He'll make more than $5 million.
Yeah. So, like, of course he hasn't reached out. He's going to make do a stand-up special about it, sell it.
Yeah.
It'll be huge. He'll make a shit ton of money. At the end of all this, he'll be like, oh, who gives a fuck? I got slapped in the face and I made, $8 million.
Was there ever a way with you and Sam and Andrea? Do you guys think there was ever a way to fix this?
I think just time. Like, things move so fast in the news cycle. If he would have just shut the fuck up and then apologized to Chris Rock later on down the road when he was ready to talk to him one-on-one, people would have forgot about it.
Yeah, I agree.
And I just don't... The thing about this video that bothers me so much is, like, the picture in the background says the world is sick.
It's
Love
all
is
curated.
It's all so curated.
It's all curated.
Like
this
the
is
water.
This is OJ. You know what this is? This is like OJ putting all the black art in his house when they're taking pictures. Yeah, it's just like you're just making it look this way, dude. It's like it would have been better if you just sat outside of Burger King and talked. Not this. This is garbage.
Right. No, it's so produced. Like, just sit at your desk in your house or something and hold the camera. Like, I don't need a 5-camera shoot.
Yeah, it's just weird. And even the image that I froze on, which is very odd. Just look at it. Look at his body language. I mean,
that's what. Yeah,
look, whatever.
His body language.
I don't want to judge the guy forever. It just like we had to address it, I think. And in watching it, it just kind of made me more mad. I'm just like, God, weird. Why are you being all weird, man?
Yeah.
And at this point, it's like maybe your career is done, and then you had a good run, and now people don't want to see you in any action movies or whatever. Like, like I said, even that Disney, him traveling around doing like the wonders of the planet or whatever. Well, I'm watching that with my sons, and then I'm like, I don't really like the fact that Will Smith isn't here. Like, it's like, I don't like it as much. Like, this kind of ruins the show.
They're gonna replace him. Did you hear that?
With that in that series or whatever?
They're already replacing him with Bam Margera, and it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be fucking rad.
Oh man,
Bam Margera?
Did they find Bam Margera?
Yeah, they found him.
Okay.
Oh, they found him. Yeah. He's back on drugs.
Yeah, it's sad. But not as sad as this. I think this is more sad. Like, I look at this and I'm like, God, you're so weird. I look at Bam and I'm like, yeah, of course he's doing that. That's what he does.
Yeah. Well, because it's Bam Margera is sad. Will Smith, it's like, you're like, I don't think you're really that sorry about all this. I think you're more sorry that this has affected your career rather than your behavior.
He goes on to
narcissist.
Yeah, he goes on to apologize to the other nominees, and he kind of recounts it was Questlove's award, and he kind of walks through it. It was, I don't know. I don't know what I expected. I don't know if I'm setting the possibility for anything that, like, there is a part of me that says, like, maybe it would be impossible for him to display anything to me, because I can only talk from my point of view, and for me to accept it. But I really don't care. Like, I'm like, whatever. I don't care, but when I look at that, I go, well, that's not real. That's as simple as it is for me.
It's like he is trying to change public perception, but it's already changed and no one cares about anything moving forward, like anything he has to say.
Yeah, he
or
might as
any
well
sort of-
be. He might as well be trying to sell me an NFT right now. That was earlier this year. I've moved on.
Right.
Yeah, and like we live in a world too where there's other actors that could, it's not like we need Will Smith to play a particular part. Like, oh,
No.
we need him to do this. Like, we want this. Kind of like, I'll take whoever, a new actor. I'll give someone else a new a shot.
Yeah.
It's like Will Smith has been in enough movies. We've seen him enough. We're good.
You know what he's gonna do though? He's gonna do the Tom Cruise, where he might even come out with some stuff in between, but he's gonna do something where it's nostalgia, like the Top Gun 2 situation, and then he's gonna bring everybody back in. So it's gonna be either like Men in Black is gonna come back, or an Independence Day 2 or something. He's gonna do something where everyone was nostalgic before, because all of Tom Cruise's movies after his like crazy Scientology shit, they didn't do great, right? I mean, they didn't tank, but I don't think they did that well. But Top Gun 2 or whatever the hell it was called did amazing.
It's huge. I think people give Tom Cruise more of a pass, and I think they think Tom Cruise Scientology is less damaging rather, to the world globally than him slapping Chris Rock. I disagree. Yes. I think Tom Cruise and Scientology is probably far more damaging. If it works for you, that's great. Don't at me. I'm just saying. But it is weird how we have our priorities kind of fucked up on that one, don't we? It's like, we're okay with Tom Cruise.
I think it's because Tom Cruise has never really been anything else but crazy. Like he you know what I'm saying? Like
we knew it. We knew it.
He's been jumping.
I don't know. Like in the beginning, he was like kind of almost like the America's darling for a guy, right? He was like the heartthrob,
right?
Nice
Risky
guy.
business, all of that stuff.
But remember when he jumped on Oprah's couch?
Yeah, but that's later in his career, though.
Well, that's because he was in love.
That was way later.
I don't fault a man for being in love.
I'm waiting for Katie Holmes to come out and tell her whole.
I know. You know she can't.
Come on,
though.
Katie. Yeah. Come on.
And then she did like what? She did like 5 years with sweet, big old Jamie Foxx dick.
Yeah,
so talented, so funny, can sing.
She's got crazy NDAs, and they paid her off. They paid her off.
Oh yeah, Scientology. They'll bury her.
They're probably still following her, dude.
Yeah, because the kid is still linked to Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Maybe when the kid turns 18.
You know what's funny is I just think that if you're real and if people can tell you're being genuine, then I think they'll way more willing to give you a pass than if you seem fake. And I think that's what it's all about. It's like,
so we know Tom Cruise. Like Tom Cruise is like, oh yeah, I'm totally into Scientology. And people are like, yeah, you are. And you're authentic. Okay, I'll watch Top Gun. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. And no, even like, remember Dog the Bounty Hunter? Like, Jesus. He's saying the N-word in a private conversation with his son and this whole thing, and that gets leaked out. And then we make the joke that, of course, he did. Like, look at him. But then he apologizes, stupid apology, and like whatever. And I think people hate Will Smith way more than Dog the Bounty Hunter, and it's because
I think he's right, Sam. I hate to admit that he's right for the first time.
Yeah. You might not be wrong, but that's insane.
But I think it's because if you are real, even if you're a bad person, people are like, oh, well, at least he's telling me the truth, or at least he's being real, or whatever. I think it's the fake that everybody doesn't like the most. Like, so I think if you're even a fake good person, people are like, I don't like that guy. Like they'll rather.
I mean, you could even apply that to even presidential candidates. Not making it political, but there have been people that have been our president, namely Trump, who people they'll just be like, yeah, I don't like what he says, but I think he says things that he means, so I like him. So there's value in that, right?
Yeah. And we've learned that, like, even in our show, right, throughout the years, we've always said, well, we'll just be real. And that seems to be, because as soon as you're not real, then not only can people tell, but that's what people don't like the most. Like, they don't like being lied to.
They don't want you lying to them,
Yeah, or being someone you're not. And because it feels weird to people. And I think that's what is like Will Smith comes off like, are you acting like a human right now? Like, are you
this apology video did not help at all.
No.
If anything, it makes him look more fake.
And I think he's always been that way. I think that's probably his personality. I think some people's personalities are horrible, and they can't stop it. It's like that's who Will Smith is and I think we're all just collectively like, I don't like him.
And all of his accusations of not being a good person go back to even the Fresh Prince days with, Aunt Viv and everything, with all of that. So it goes back pretty far.
When you bring that up, okay, I wasn't going to bring up the Aunt Viv thing because, again, and we're going to have to take a break here soon. But the Aunt Viv thing, too, when you do think about that, you kind of connect dots and you're like, I'm not going to say he's a bad person, but maybe it's harder for him to be as good as we thought he was.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We thought he was this thing and he's just not. And it's also not fair to him for us to judge him based on something that isn't real.
Yeah, if he would just come out and be like, "Yeah, I'm a dickhead. I'm really into acting.
I'm set my ways."
Yeah, and then he's like, and then I shouldn't, I have a bad temper. I heard someone, he insulted my wife. I lost it.
Or straight up double down and be like, no, fuck Chris Rock. He shouldn't have said that to my wife. You know what I mean?
Sam's
People would like him for that.
Sam's right, because if you had some nuts, and said, look, my relationship with my wife has always been a little crazy and we're trying to work it out, and you said some shit I didn't like, so fuck you. Yeah. And if I see you again, I'll slap you again. I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
That would have actually worked better, but no publicist or anybody would ever suggested him do that, because they're like, we got to fix this. We got to sit you in a beautiful IKEA room with some inspirational poster, and then you got to dress like Tiger Woods, and then
and then all the books,
like you're apologetic.
Every single book on that table, I googled them. They're all like, one is a black sculptor, one is everything is designed to be to the letter a perfect representation of a strong, an intelligent, top tier black actor hero, and it's just, you're not fixing it.
When we come back from this break, can we talk about people egging other people's houses? Because there's an actor or a former Playboy model that is accused of egging her neighbor's house.
Oh,
really?
Yes.
I didn't know we were doing news. I guess with nothing, everything's on the table today because the whole show is spread out across Orlando. This is we can do whatever we want. We do have to take a break, so we still got to talk about my epidural that I had and the mean old nurse I had. What else have we got to talk about? I don't think we have news or anything.
I can give you some news, but.
Oh.
I from listening from the past couple days, do a bunch of sports stuff. There's an interesting story about Kyler Murray's contract.
What's that craziness?
They put in there a clause, right? Yeah. For study hours or something.
But they already retracted it. Yeah. I'll tell you the whole story when we get back.
All right, let me get our little buttons here ready so I can play your music. The name of the artist is Jordy Searcy. I believe I'm saying that right. Seriously, like Game of Thrones. The name of the song is Daylight. We'll be right back with more A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan momentarily. Let me turn this music up so you can hear it. We'll be right back.
I swear I couldn't see my hand in front of my face. With these memories in the way of every demon thought I beaten came out swinging at me.
All right, that's rock and roll right there, motherfuckers. Straight up your ass. Welcome back to the show.
So, Daniel, you on Tuesday, it's funny how it kind of worked out because we pre-recorded Tuesday's ACT because you were going to go get your back epidural done on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So, and just so happened to be the day I got COVID. So at least so far this week, me getting COVID only resulted in missing one ACT. So I feel that's pretty good, right?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I mean, instead of 10 days of shows or whatever. So anyway,
I still think we have the greatest streak, like for any of broadcasting team, of never missing I don't know. I think we've maybe taken off 10 shows total. I'm talking ACT, AMT, OG, BDM, like maybe 10. from having babies, from COVID.
10 years.
Yeah, in 12 years, I think we've only maybe missed 10 shows.
I think you still did the Friday Free Show when I had a baby on a Monday, and you still you did the Friday Free Show on a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I think you guys, yeah.
Again, nobody asked us to do this. People are like, you can take off. Andrew just had a baby. You got COVID. And we're like, no, we're going to work.
Well, I was going to work on Tuesday. You guys took it off. You're like, well, you're getting your epidural, so we're just going to take the day off. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I know. Well, I'm glad we did, too, because it was more than you thought, right? Especially coming out of the goddamn Twilight and all that shit. So explain what the whole... thing was.
A lot of our listeners have had this done, and I've had a decent amount of them, not tons, but I've had a decent amount of folks actually reach out to me about it. And I'll explain to you my version of it. I, believe it or not, because I've stepped back from alcohol and really been trying to dial in my anxiety medication, I do believe that my hypochondria and even some of my anxiety is better than it would normally be. So for this particular procedure where I would normally be, and Andrea is here, and I think you will back me up on this. We haven't even talked about this, so just be honest. I know you will.
Oh, I saw that little Will Smith.
Yeah,
right
it was a wink. Yeah, it was a wink. You saw the wink when I was like, I'll hit you if you don't. No, it was one of these things where normally I would Google it, WebMD it, epidural, talk about it, be nervous about it, come in here and talk about it, talk to you guys about it, talk to Sam privately about it, talk to Tom privately about it. Then you guys would talk about, he's really worried about it. I didn't do that this time. I didn't look it up. Honestly, I didn't even know what I was getting into. I just knew they were going to do a procedure on my back where they stick needles in it and they put medication in there. That's it.
And you knew that you were going to be local anesthesia.
Yeah, they told me I could get that, and I'm not really getting fucked up right now, so I figured that was a legal way of you know what I mean? I'm not really doing any drugs or alcohol, so I was like, well, I'm definitely getting the Twilight if they're offering it to me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They probably don't do it without the Twilight just because they don't want you moving.
No, I think they do. I think there are people that get it without because you didn't have to check the box. But I checked the box. So anyway, I didn't really know that much about it. Even Andrea was like, "Where's your paperwork for?"
I had to hound you for the paperwork.
I'm telling you, I am a different. I don't know if it's the medication I'm on, but I do think that it is. I'm on Cymbalta, by the way. I do think that it is helping me not worry as much about my own health. So I want to feel good. I want my back to feel good, but I wasn't concerned or scared of this. So I get my paperwork, give it to Andrea. All I know is I got to show up. So when I show up there, they tell me to do the fasting and everything, but I didn't have to it wasn't like my MRI. I did not have to wear a gown. They just let me wear whatever I had on. But when you walk in, so when I walked in, there's this big room, and then in the center of the room, there's this device that sort of looks like an MRI machine, but it's more like a big claw. You know, like a claw machine that you would get stuffed animals out of?
Yes.
Okay, so it's like a C-shaped claw, and then a table. And then so you lay on the table.
That's not scary.
I mean,
what the hell?
Yeah,
lay underneath the giant
claw. I wasn't
claw.
in there, so yeah.
It's like
a Westworld.
Yeah, there's a computer console, and then this claw arm, kind of if you're looking on the YouTube channel or on Twitch, you can see my hands out like a claw, and then there's a man standing behind the little terminal. And then there's a table, and then so they move that you lay on the table, and then they take the claw and they put it over you, over your back area, because that's what's going to administer, I guess, the medication.
Oh my God!
Also, it needs to be able to see because they're using that as the visual. No, this is all good stuff because they used to just do it with their finger.
Right. That's what I got when I was having a baby.
Right. Well, technology in 7 years of technology now they beam my spine and they go, that's exactly where we're putting the medication. So it's a good thing. So I lay on the lady asked me, she's like, okay, please lay on the table. So I lay on the table, and this lady is just winging shit around the room like crazy. She's one of these skinny old ladies that looks like she lived back in pioneer times where her hair is gray and pulled back into a bun.
Yeah.
like a old, like she's a teacher.
Little House on the Prairie.
Yes, very much a Little House on the Prairie teacher.
But you said she was no nonsense.
Yeah, so
no
she,
pleasantries, nothing.
So she throws this pillow across the room and it hits this trash can, this aluminum trash can, and the aluminum trash can explodes, spilling all the towels out. Then she's like, I'm sorry. And then I'm like, okay, that's fine. She's like, get on the table, please. So we get on the table, and then she immediately starts feeling the top of my hand, and she's like, why is everybody so dehydrated? That's what she said.
Oh, my God.
I hope they're like, we've run out of real medical assistance.
That's what it felt like.
So we're letting military veterans do this now.
You know, they're kind of doing that with teachers lately.
That's why I made the joke.
They're giving them a pass. They don't even need to be certified
nuts,
now.
Right?
No, Sam, I read that. My mom literally rolling in her grave. This lady seemed very Navy, and that's fine. But she was like, why is everybody so dehydrated? And she starts slapping the top of my hand. And then it dawns on me, I'm like, fuck, she's going to give me the hand IV, not the arm IV. Fuck a hand IV, dude.
Oh, God.
I hate them. They're for old people. And they make the top of your hand all purple.
It gives
and
me the
shitty.
willies thinking about it.
Yeah, I
too.
hate it. And I'm sorry if I'm freaking out the listeners, but I hate a hand IV. I hate it. I don't know the purpose of it. I'm not a nurse. I don't know why they would go there. Why can't they just stick it in this big vein? I'm vascular, man. I got a good vein on my right arm. Pop it in that bad boy, you know? But not. They do the top of my hand. And so she, does the little port and hangs it there. And then she has me lay on my stomach and put my hands up above my head.
Maybe that's why they had to do the hand, because the arm, the laying in that position, they needed that.
My God, you're so smart. So I'm laying there, and then I'm just kind of laying in like almost like a frog position, like with my legs like a frog.
Oh.
Okay.
So I'm like ready to be butt fucked or something. I'm like laying on the thing, and so they put the C thing on me, and then she's like, and she's not walking me through anything. She puts the oxygen on me. I'm supposed to tell myself, like, now we're giving you. I'm in my mind. I'm going, and now we've given you oxygen because nobody else is fucking saying anything. So she puts the oxygen on me, and I'm just kind of laying there. And then I have to ask, I'm like, have you already given me the medication? And she's like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, well, is anybody going to say anything? And then about that time is when the lights turn off. That's it. So I don't know what happened. This old bitch didn't tell me nothing. I didn't hear anything. I didn't see anything. I remember coming to holding my credit card. Oh, no, this is the last thing I remember. And this is the funniest part. I almost blew the whole story. The last thing I remember, because I guess they're going to shoot my back, she grabs the waistband, and I'm wearing Adidas 3-stripe sweatpants. And she yanks my pants from my flap, my gut flap belly, to my ankles, exposing my dick, balls, everything like a wacka. She goes whoosh like a little kid getting spanked at Kmart. Like it's like whoosh, and like she just
while you're laying on the table.
Yeah, and I'm just laying there, but my ankles are bound because they're around. And I'm just like in my frog. I'm in a frog position with it all the way down to my. So I can't go spread eagle because my ankles are tied.
She took you to her like red room.
And then
this is like the woodshed.
Why'd you take your pants off?
I didn't. Again, I'm on a good medication. I ask less questions these days. I just kind of go with it.
His areas where they stuck him are like right above like his crack kind of area. So I'm thinking they just didn't want the pants to interfere or move anyway.
Yeah, they had to move my pant crack.
Why not do it like a tattoo artist would do? A girl getting
no, she went. I felt it, dude. It went.
I
could feel the fucking air from this Navy vet. God bless her. We need her out in the field because she'll kill some motherfuckers. Because she goes whoosh, and it was like scary. And like the guy, and they had like the guy running the machine was big, dumb for nothing. He was like really big and like a quiet kind of a big guy. Because I was trying to chirp him up a little bit while I got there. And I'm like, hey, you don't have to give me a lot of Twilight. Like I haven't been drinking. I'll be all right. And he's like, oh, what's your poison? And I go, yeah, the last drink I had some rum drinks. And he's like, He like kind of looked at me like, I don't want to talk anymore or something. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Like everybody there was no nonsense asshole.
It took all of 10 minutes. I like got my stuff ready to like, I was going to do my grocery list. And they're like, oh, he's ready. And I was like, oh, okay. So you got, and then I met him with the no nonsense lady. You're in the wheelchair.
Yeah, they put me in the wheelchair, and I woke up holding my credit card because I guess I paid something.
I paid, yeah.
Why was I holding the credit card, though?
Because you thought I needed that card. When you were walking back there, I guess you never put it away.
Man, Twilight is a scary thing because apparently I was walking around, you know.
Yeah, what's weird about it is you're awake, but it makes you have no memory, so you might as well be asleep. You know, it's like
sleepwalking.
It's what you experience when you go to sleep, where you have no memory of it, but you are awake the whole time. So it's essentially, you know, just drugs you up and erases your memory, which is weird.
He told me later, he was like, when we got in the car, and I don't know if he even remembers this, he's like, I just like this feeling so much. I just love this feeling.
Well, that's what addicts say. That's what you say when you're drug addict.
Calm down, Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that's where you're begging for the propofol at night. You know,
and he wanted chicken.
And then you're misunderstood because you just like who. If I told you that Twilight makes you want to sit in your bed surrounded by children, you'd think I'm a pedophile. But it just feels good, man.
Well, who checks the box for non-Twilight? Like, we're about to stab a needle in your back, in your spine. Would you like Twilight or awake?
Women having babies. Right. They're the ones that don't get to Twilight.
Yeah, that's true.
No.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, but here's
my husband's getting the Twilight for the damn vasectomy.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
I know.
Good.
He's not messing around.
Yeah, he should do that. But I also hope that they don't pull his pants down like they did me, or he'll be mortified.
They have to. They got to cut his spaghetti out.
Well, they can just gently remove it. You don't need to whoosh him down. I mean, it was literally to make me feel like less of a man.
But then then Daniel's super hungry, so.
Yeah, but my legs are, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
My legs are not working right. They're still not working right. I'm like a little Pinocchio man, like learning to walk again.
So we go to, this is the best part. So he wants chicken, so we go to the place Chicken on Mills, and there's like
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so there's
you got that Korean fried. Oh man, when I'm fucked up, give me that Korean fried chicken.
Woo, spicy. So we're walking down the sidewalk, but you have to go.
Best waffle fries in Orlando. Get them as a sponsor, Tom. Chicken. That place, holy shit.
You have to walk up 2 little stairs to get into the front door. And I'm in front of Daniel, and I turn around as I go through the door, and Daniel's holding onto the railing like his legs have given out going up these stairs.
They did.
In front of a guy who's on the phone.
Yeah, my legs gave out, but I wasn't going to stop getting my chicken, so I drug my body into chicken just like a little dog with paralyzed legs. I just drug my body into the chicken restaurant.
Mm-hmm. And then he just ate, you know.
Yeah, then I ate a ton of Korean fried chicken.
Yeah.
Do you feel a difference in your back?
Yeah.
Do you feel less pain?
Yeah, I absolutely do. It is a wonder drug. I mean, like, yeah, my back, like, I'm a lot straighter. You would even say.
He's walking straighter, but you did say it's a weird feeling. Like, there's still something that feels off.
Like my hip, it's like you fix, this is what it feels like, and this is going to be serious, it's not really funny, but it feels like you fix my back, now my hips are off. You fix my hips, now my knees are off. You fix my knees, now my
Because you've been so used to compensating for your back, so
yeah, you're feeling the other pains now.
Yeah, so every night, like since I got it done, right before bed, I'll get out of bed, I'll get, like some stretching on my phone, and then I'll just go through a bunch of different movements, like hold like really long quad stretches, really long yoga poses, doing bird dogs, doing cat-cow, doing child's pose, like just anything to loosen that thing up.
But maybe this is normal, and you're just so used to not normal that you're like, this is weird.
Yeah, it's odd. It's definitely odd.
Yeah.
It's also like rehabbing an old house. You go to redo your kitchen.
Correct.
And you take the drywall out, and you're like, there's mold back here.
Yeah.
There's a termites. you just find one problem after the other, and you're like, this house is old.
Don't think at all that I don't think for a second that I shouldn't have done this, because there's a part of me that's like, well, now your back got a little taste of youth, and now everything else feels like shit. Like my hips, like I rode, today was like the second day or first day? Second day of like back on the Peloton, and riding. And I did it I got up at 6 this morning, and I got on the bike, and everything, I get off the bike and my hips are just like, I'm all fucked up, man. It's not good.
Have you guys seen Tony Robbins' TikTok?
No.
Because it's in my algorithm, and I hear him talk about, like, he's on podcasts, like, and then he's like, my biological age is 62, but my some other age he describes, he's like, is only 51. Because of all the shit that he's done or whatever, the stem cells and cold therapy and heat, all the shit, whatever.
He's a Wim Hof guy too, right? Isn't he?
Yeah. And then and I'm like, is that real? Like, and then apparently Rob Dyrdek is into that whole thing too. And I saw
he is meth face Tony Robbins.
He claims he'll live to 112 because of all the stuff that he's doing or whatever. And I'm like. And then we talked to our trainer Michael about like, and he's like researches all this stuff and talking about how people are learning how to slow down their aging with all these different tricks and like the ultra rich, and if you could afford it, like you could.
Well, that's the thing. You got to be ultra rich, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess things are getting cheaper.
And also, is there a point where you're too far gone and you can't repair the damage that's already been done, or do the stem cells help everything? And you can reverse everything.
I have no idea how. No, I
can you get bad stem cells?
I don't know.
Good question.
I don't know anything about it. I just know that someone's like Tony Robbins is claiming to be 10 years younger than his biological age, and he really believes it. And I'm like, is that real?
Well, hold on. I dress 20 years younger.
He believes a lot of things
than my age. I dress a full 20 years younger than my age.
No, but he's saying internally his organs are 10 years younger or whatever the hell.
No. I've had 6 Mountain Dews today. No way.
Or like his cells. And then he's also a giant. And I'm like, well.
He doesn't need any more cells. You need less cells because your face is like giant.
He does look like a monster.
Yeah, thank you. Finally, someone who speaks the truth. You know what? That's the harshest and most truthful thing you've ever said, Sam. He does look. He's
big,
horrifying.
Deep voice monster.
Yeah, he's horrifying. It looks like your body's still growing. You look like a werewolf's gonna grow out of you. Like it looks painful.
Yeah. And then that's why when I see it, he's like, I'm 10 years younger than but he's talking about the
That's my favorite impression you've ever done.
And then I'm like, you're gonna die, giant. There's no way. Like, you can't.
Okay. Every time I see
Heart's
him,
gonna explode.
Every time I look at him, I think Big Fish.
Yeah. Like you're the big.
Remember
fish
the movie
guy.
Big? You're the Big Fish guy.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Big Fish. What? And you couldn't make
DVD.
Big Fish now. Big Fish was at a time when we could joyfully play with those that look like, but we can't do that. It's done. Big Fish is done.
I just
Didn't you have that on DVD when
I did have it on DVD.
Yeah.
Now hold on. We have been talking about
I used to
getting a
masturbate the
camel
Big
girl.
Yeah.
Right? For the beach party. And then we were like, well, what if we have a little person? What if we get a giant?
And a little. What, a giant camel girl?
No, well, yeah. We can
or
get
boy.
We can get a giant.
I wonder if Tony Robbins.
Would that be frowned upon?
No.
But it's got to be a real. How big? It's got to be a real giant.
7 foot at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7+.
It's got to be a Dwayne Schwentz's giant.
Yeah. If you see a 7 foot tall person
with a camel mask,
but it's amazing.
Terrifying.
Why don't we just get a real camel?
Ooh.
Because that's 7 foot tall or more, right? Like a
camel with a human mask on.
Yeah, I've always wanted. That's Christine's painting in our studio.
Yeah.
She has a painting.
Right.
It means a lot to me. It's very poetic. It is a camel wearing a human mask with a bikini on her hump.
Pig.
I'm not joking. We were gonna rent a real camel for our 3rd year anniversary.
And you almost got a divorce because of that. Yes, you almost got a divorce. You got a huge fight with your wife.
And then Crystal told me, she's like, that's animal abuse because the guy I was
She's
going to
not wrong.
rent it from.
She's not wrong. It wasn't from a zoo. It was from like some old man.
Yeah. And then he said this.
What?
Yes. Oh, yeah. He was going to bring the camel down. I think it chugged a beer.
Just a random old man with a camel?
It was an old camel and it would drink beer.
Was this a Shriner's camel?
Yes, it was a former Shriner's camel.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it was bought by some sort of carnival or like extreme rental
It was
place.
an extreme rental place. You have a good memory, dude.
and it was gonna come by, and they're like, "Yeah, I'll come out here," and they're like,
It was expensive as fuck too.
It was, and then Chris was like, "You can't." And she's like, "It'll panic, and it'll start kicking your listeners." and then
Start spitting on them.
Yeah. Then I thought about like, as people got more and more drunk and rowdy
and more litigious and bad.
You ever seen the video of that camel bite that Middle Eastern man and then pick him up?
Oh my God. Have I seen that? That's Andrea's ringtone.
Like camels will fuck you up. They're giant animals, and they'll bite you too with their big busey teeth.
I don't know why. Are there any big animals that don't have big teeth? Or is it big animal, big teeth?
Yeah, it's
like an ostrich. An ostrich is tall, but it's probably got little baby bird teeth. But
it's got just a beak.
But you look at a camel, you look at even
a
giraffe.
If an ostrich had teeth, that'd be so scary.
I think an ostrich has little tiny teeth in there. Don't birds have little baby teeth or
I don't think so.
No, just a beak.
They just got a beak?
It would be so funny if a camel had little teeth, though.
Yeah, I mean, like hippos got big teeth. How about a giraffe? They got big teeth?
I don't know. They got a big old tongue.
Well, they got a small head, so they're a giant animal, but with a tiny pea brain and a head, tiny head. So
what animal has the biggest
little
teeth?
sticks for legs?
Hippo, right? Hippo got the biggest teeth.
Yeah, big beer cans.
Yeah.
But
baby hippos, I will watch a baby hippo when it swims over and it bites that lady's arm. Oh my God, I start crying.
Is it Fiona, the hippo?
I don't know. It's baby hippos are so cute.
So I've been listening to this Kyler Murray story, and so they wrote in his contract, and it came out after he signed it, that in his contract, it actually stipulated that he had to study and watch film before games, right? And apparently all these, shows I listened to, I'd never heard of that. And listened to people that are professionals in the industry that have reviewed different players' contracts and are like, this is unheard of. I've never seen a contract that stipulated that a quarterback had to actually, mandated that he studied before every game. And it was like written into his contract. And he couldn't, and if they found out he didn't do it, he would be not paid a certain huge amount of money. Anyway, so he signed the contract, and then everybody starts clowning this guy because they're like, well, this must mean that he doesn't study.
Right, yeah.
Why would they put it in there, right?
Yeah, they're like, Kyler, do your homework, baby. Like they were doing memes and
Yeah. So all the sports world is talking about it and clowning this guy and talking about how, this must mean he doesn't work that hard. So then he comes out in a press conference and then basically tries to defend himself. And he's like, and I kind of get what he's saying. He's like, it's ridiculous that everybody's saying this. How do you think I got to where I am? And he's right. It's like, you don't get to become a fucking NFL starting quarterback without studying. It's not like
you have to. It's a prerequisite for the job for sure.
Yeah. But it must have meant that there was some sort of problem there. Like, why would they put it in there? It's always been like a question mark with Kyler Murray of whether he was going to get paid and get this huge contract. He was demanding it last year, and going into this year, he was saying that, this was his contract year anyway. So then it recently came out, I think yesterday, that the Arizona organization took that stipulation out.
Yep.
Which I've never seen before either. And they stated that because of all the distraction that it caused, that they didn't realize it was going to cause all this distraction and whatever. And then they took it out of his contract. So that's weird to me too, because I'm like, was this planned? And beyond this whole story, and you guys have always told me, they're like, maybe they didn't think about this, but it blows my mind that a bunch of lawyers, because think about how many people are involved.
Remember our contracts.
I know.
If you think back to ours, I mean, it was just a copy and paste. Everybody that still works for Real Radio right now still has the same copy and paste contract that they've used. I mean, I'd bet my life on it. That's the way they do it.
I made $33,000 a year. So it's like, the lawyers, the fucking hourly rate for iHeart wasn't worth reviewing my contract because it was so little.
Right.
But with Kyler Murray, we're talking about like tens of millions of dollars, like a lot of money. And he's got his own agent, which is funny because his agent is the same as Cliff Kingsbury, the coach's agent.
Right.
So I'm sure his agent told, like, and I don't know what the rules are as far as your agent communicating with other clients. I'm sure there's some sort of confidentiality, but so his agent, his lawyer, like Kyler Murray's got lawyers. The Arizona Cardinals got tons of lawyers. Like, we're talking about a $5 billion franchise or whatever it is now. Like $1 billion industry. You would think that enough people would look at this and realize, like, hey, if we put this stipulation in this guy's contract, like, all of media is going to be talking about it. And then I'm like, did they do it on purpose just to like make sure? Like, we'll put it out there. He'll sign the deal. The media will clown him, and then we'll take it out.
No, I don't think they expected the media to fine-tooth his contract and make it a story. That's what happened.
Yeah, who leaked this clause? Like, how did they find out?
All contracts are open. Like,
right, but I don't think they thought that it's been in there. There's probably been other things in contracts now that sports journalists are going through now and combing to try and get a story, right? Is
it not a normal thing to be put in a contract? I feel like,
from what I read, it is not a normal thing.
Okay.
No, and that's why everybody was talking about it. But in what I've heard, like, every time a quarterback signs a big contract, I mean, think about it. It doesn't happen that often. There's only 32 starting quarterbacks, and only half of those are decent enough to get big contracts, and Kyler Murray is one of them. So, and now with all the media out there and all the podcasts and all the shows and the Pat McAfee's and like millions of sports shows across the country, they all analyze all these because there's nothing to talk about. So they need to fill 5 days a week for content. So they now like look over player contracts and try to pull up anything. So you would think that they're like, hey, they're going to see this and talk about it, right? Or
yeah,
not?
I don't think they thought about it. I think they thought it just
crazy.
It's an oversight. And EJ brings up an interesting point where Kyler should probably be upset that this was ever even in there, and that maybe his agent dropped the ball, pun intended. EJ says every time he throws an interception, they're going to say he didn't study. Yeah, now you've made him a target. You've you've made him, so now whatever he does from now on, when and if. I wish him the best. I don't wish anybody starting their season a shitty season. But, guy goes into it and starts not doing well, and they're going to be like, oh, well, I should have left the clause in. Burr, burr. It's like, why'd you do that to me, man? It was an oversight. It was an oversight on the organization's part, or I guess you could argue his agent should have spotted that as something potentially.
Lawyer, yeah, somebody should.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure I can't believe, like, his agent and his lawyers definitely read his contract. I mean, it's, we're talking about a gigantic contract, and they get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. They get a percentage of all this. And I'm sure they saw a weirdo stipulation that is not in any other NFL quarterback contracts that anybody's ever seen. Like, I'm saying that his agent he's got multiple high profile clients, like I said, another NFL coach, multiple other players. They had to have realized this was going to happen.
You know what? You know what taught me where you're gonna be asking they should have this question. We do it a lot. You're gonna be asking that forever. And the one that really taught me that these oversights are real was Freddie Freeman from the Braves. Freddie Freeman should still be a Brave, but the short of the long is his agent. Had a deal from LA for him to go there, right? And then his agent just dropped the ball. He really did. His agent just said, you got 24 hours to accept the deal. The Braves, they're not giving us another deal. Boom, we're taking this one. We're out of here. Like, it wasn't over. And everybody even says now, yep, we fucked it up.
Well, that's why he fired his agent.
Yeah, and he fired his agent. So I just think that this does happen because people are human, and you would actually make a great agent because you do a lot of overthinking, and these people obviously do not.
Well, it's even my wife, when she does real estate contracts, she reads everything to make sure that there's no weird thing.
You're in that world, though. You guys are, you really, like, if the listeners knew how much you will overthink the beach party, they would think you're as insane as I am.
But that's
Is it possible that, like, the agents and the lawyers, they didn't see it as it was going to be an issue? They're like, that's no big deal. For sure, he'll watch the film study or whatever.
Right, it's just a non-issue.
Like, it's not a big deal.
Good point, Sam. Right. He's supposedly doing it anyway, right?
Right. So we're just
right.
Mm-hmm.
No, because he also has a publicist and stuff too, which is all wrapped up in this. And I'm sure that when they were presented the contract and they saw there's these stipulations in there that it's unique, unlike any other contract, that they brought it up to him and then talked amongst themselves like, hey, in your contract, it states that you have to study. And this is going to, like, the media reads these contracts after they're done, and it's public information, and the media is going to read this and make a story out of it. That is like as basic, like, publicist work or whatever. Like they've been in the celebrities for a long time.
I'm just saying.
Crazy.
Uh-oh.
Did we lose Sam?
Oh, no. Sam? Well, we may have lost him. That's a sports god saying move on. Good Lord.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, I guess we'll go to the egg story and wait for Sam to.
Well, I got 3 stories, so I can go to the egg one first. So the headline
thing is someone that's
Oh no. Oh.
Am I back?
You're back. Okay,
hello?
we got you.
Hello?
Okay.
Hello?
Yep.
Oh, I was just going to say, just to wrap up before we get into the egg story, like, as someone who's, like, not in that world that cares enough about contracts in football or any kind of sports, I wouldn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. It's just the sports world.
I wouldn't be like...
Oh, no.
Okay.
She might be having. What time is it? You got some old ladies watching
their stories.
Yeah, they pop it on the streaming soap operas right now.
Right. And they're on Peacock.
Like, oh, they put that in there. That must.
No.
Oh, now we got you, Sam. We got you back. This is why I love Zoom so much. We're doing our best. This is a do your best Friday. This is a do your best Friday. We'll end with this too, because I think I sort of agree with Sam. When I first read that story on Reddit, Tom, before they retracted it, before the Cardinals took it away, I go, oh, look at that. You know what? That makes me like Kyler Murray, that he puts in some accountability. I was like, that's good. Like, look at that. Like, because I didn't fully understand the story. Like, I'm just
right. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be like if we worked for iHeart and then iHeart wrote in our contracts, you must prepare before each show. Or we're not going to pay. If we find out that you didn't prepare and the show is bad, then we're not going to pay you for that day. I mean, that's the equivalent of that. And then I feel like we'd read that in our contract because it would be abnormal. And then our lawyers, like, especially when you got $100 million on the line and everybody's making hundreds of thousands, like, you think they'd be like, hey, and your listeners are going to, this is public knowledge. They're going to see it. They're going to clown you and assume that iHeart is writing this in there because you guys don't take your job seriously and you don't prepare.
Yeah,
which is true.
You would probably make an excellent, you would make a great agent, dude. Seriously. Like, that actually gives me some confidence about what you do here. Like, not that I have a lot. That's not what I'm saying. I have confidence in you here because I like you overthinking. I like you reading it. So, anyway.
Okay, so.
Egg story. What is this egg story?
Okay, so I have some other news too. But, okay, do you guys remember who Angie Everhart is?
I met Angie Everhart at me and Carlos, formerly Black Bean, went to do... It was a reality show called The Real Gilligan's Island.
Oh, in Miami.
And Angie Everhart, redhead?
Yes.
Yeah, Angie Everhart was one of the celebrities on there.
What year was this? And we were together, I think.
2005
or 6. 5 or
6.
Okay. So if you don't know who Angie Everhart is, she rose to fame in 95 after appearing in multiple swimsuit editions of Sports Illustrated. And then in February of 2000, she posed nude for Playboy. She was
freckles.
She's also
a lot of freckles. I like. Where do you stand, Tom, with a freckly nude woman?
I like it.
I like it too. Sam, what do you think of a freckly man like a who's the guy that played for the Magic? He was kind of freckly. Gordon, wasn't he kind of freckly?
I like freckles.
Yeah, I think freckly people look great. I'm a fan. You got a lot of freckles.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like filters that give you like fake freckles. There are people that get tattoos of freckles.
Yeah, or they make them.
I like real. I like authentic.
She also, I didn't know, she was briefly engaged to Sylvester Stallone and Joe Pesci. So, but anyways.
Wait, Angie Everhart was engaged to Joe Pesci? No, she was not. That's somebody fucked with the Wikipedia, not the Wikipedia.
Joe Pesci in 2000. So at the same time that she was posing nude for Playboy, she was with Joe Pesci.
No way. Joe Pesci did not fuck Angie Everhart. No way.
This is what it says. Yes. So anyway, the story.
Hold on. We need to bring back Who's Porkin'. Where's Sam?
Yeah.
Fuck you, COVID.
So this is the story. So Angie Everhart has been accused of throwing eggs at her neighbor's apartment after a verbal altercation. So, let me read the rest of the story and then we can talk about our egg throwing still thing. So she said, Angie's rep said that this lady called the cops on Angie because she threw the eggs. The rep told the media that she had nothing to do with it. The woman got an eviction notice from the building because of all the complaints against her, said Angie's rep. Angie has COVID, and the dogs of her neighbor never stop barking from morning to night.
Yeah, that'll
There's a
drive you
picture
crazy
of
during COVID.
the eggs. And so they're having, the rep also claimed that Angie is in the process of having her lawyer get a restraining order against the neighbor.
Oh,
so
she's trash. You know what sucks is that some famous people, like who's the goalkeeper for the U.S. women's national team?
Oh, Hope Solo.
Hope Solo and Angie Everhart are trash. They're just trash people.
But yeah, so
they're just white trash.
There's a picture of the like eggs thrown at this lady's door or like back door.
And you know what? When I met Angie Everhart, I knew she was trash the minute I met her. When I looked into her eyes, you could tell that she was partying, like she'd party.
Yeah.
And you could tell that she would like. You could tell that she was like, I don't want to be here. I just want a shot.
So are eggs? Are people throwing eggs like still a thing? Like, do people still do that? Like, do people still leave poo on people's doors and like ring it and then leave? Are those?
Oh yeah, you know, in the Tesla forums, there is a guy that's did the Tesla handles on the doors are very intricate. This guy he got mad at his friend who has a Tesla and he put poo in all the doors. Yeah, but it's an advanced move because he opened the door and put the poo in the handle and then let the handle go back. So it's like, I was like, God damn, dude, you got to hate somebody to ruin their fucking car. Like, good Lord. You go to jail for that.
It's weird with the egg thing.
The Miami shit handle, yeah.
It's a minor inconvenience. Like if someone threw eggs at your door, like say they hit your door 3 eggs, right?
We had somebody egg my house before.
And then it drips down. There's some shells or whatever. But like you open your door, you're like, someone egged my door. And then like, what does it take? All of 5 minutes to take a paper towel and wipe it down? You know, it's like not that big of a deal.
If it dries, I would normally agree with you. And now on Cymbalta, I think I'm a little bit more calm about it. But there's a time when I don't throw anything at my property because you could break a window. You could change the tent of my door, like I could still see some egg residue. I don't just leave me alone.
If it bakes out in the sun, that is gross.
It's like if somebody
flies.
I know you're okay living in an egg-soaked house. I can't. I would be very upset.
Hey, let's go grab those quail eggs and do some damage.
I'm not even joking. I think there was a listener because we back in the radio days, like radio people used to fuck with my house because I'd tell everybody where I lived. And then
radio people will fuck with your house.
There was a guy in Deltona that like toilet papered my trees in my front yard and then like may have thrown an egg or two, like you fucking around with me, whatever. I didn't even notice until he emailed me. He's like, "Hey, did you see my surprise?" And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I toilet papered
like
your house."
He couldn't even wait.
You didn't notice that your house was TP?
Well, he's that guy. He doesn't care. Like,
because
free toilet paper. He got up there, bundled it all up, put it in a box, used it for months.
I'd also I would leave my house in the middle of the night because the damn radio show was started at I'd have to leave Deltona to get to Maitland by 6
But what about when you
a.m.
came home?
Well, no, he thought I noticed like when I left my house, he'd done it that night.
This guy
So,
couldn't wait.
Did you see what I
One
did?
day, okay.
So I didn't notice, and then when I
see
got
what
home,
I did?
saw
I shit in your manatee mailbox.
like, and then I was like, minor inconvenience. I think I just let the rain dissolve the
my
toilet paper.
God.
That's the best thing to do. That's the best thing you can do because it lets them know you don't give a fuck. If you have to leave it, you
So
can't.
Deltona.
You can't go up there and pull it down. If you go up there and pull it down, you let them win.
It's also Zombie Land. I couldn't be outside for that long. I had to get inside.
Yeah, you don't want to
so
get blown out of a tree. You're getting toilet paper down.
Yeah. I was like, this is the least of the Deltona's problems. Like
Yeah.
some garbage in my trees is fine.
You know what? You know what's so funny? If Andrea turned to me right now and said, "Did you hear? There's no more Deltona," I'd be like, "Really?" Like I would believe her because I haven't even thought of that place. I haven't been through there. Like I haven't been there in years. We should go there and like drive around. I want to see what it looks like now.
It's good. I mean, listen, houses,
good? It's
houses
good?
are houses are $350 a piece.
Is it still brown though?
It's still brown.
Because everything in Deltona is like, as soon as you got over the bridge, as soon as your car tires touch the other side of the St. Johns
Volusia.
River, it's just all brown.
Yeah.
Brown
It's
town.
I mean, home prices. You're gonna buy a $425,000 house in Deltona.
Yeah.
332.
You buy
That's
like
what you're gonna pay.
$500,000 for a Mercedes brand home. That's insane.
Have you driven by your old house that was in Deltona?
Can't.
I went by. Well, BDM used to live there. I'm not sure if he still does, but a BDM bought it from the company that short sold or bought my house for $38,000 back
Jesus Christ, dude.
in 2010 or whatever.
You can't even get a reasonable car for $38,000 right now.
I know. A 3.2 with a fire pit
And a pool.
Yeah, it was
vinyl
nice.
liner.
Nice as hell. Let's take a break and then we can come back and then finish up the
Yeah,
stories.
I have two other stories.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
Does that
cool.
work for you guys?
Yeah.
All righty. Hey, we're doing what we can today. We appreciate you hanging with us. I'm sorry it's not ideal, but
We'll be back to regular Monday.
we will. We'll be back. This is the name of the band. This is kind of like new yacht rock. You know, I'm kind of obsessed with that. The name of the band is Private Island. The name of the song is Daisies. We'll be back with more A Mediocre Time momentarily. 1-844-TOMNDAN.
Trucking soda pops and chopping up apple pie. Hey, but we on the ropes.
I'll just keep muttering what it'd be like when I bottle lightning twice.
Sincere Engineer, a Samantha favorite, right? You've heard that, right? What? Oh, you're still muted. Oh my God, hold on.
Oh, I said we didn't plan this, but I'm wearing a Sincere Engineer shirt.
Oh no shit, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a happy.
Look at you
accident.
guys. You're still connected, even apart.
Well, I've been wanting to play that, and we've had it for a minute. And yeah, look, we're doing the best we can today. All things considering, I'd say we did not bad with the damn COVID bullshit. Welcome back to Mediocre Time,
Trust me,
Dan.
I've heard a lot worse.
Oh
on
yeah.
podcasts.
Oh yeah. It's. I mean, you know what's funny too is that Remy was going to come by today. I am gifting him seriously. I'm gifting him our old mixing console. I have no use for it anymore, and I'm trying to get better about not hoarding. And maybe I was inspired a little bit by Tom cleaning out his garage, so I was just gonna give it to him. But I told him to steer clear. I'll see you next Friday. Got to put a little space between me and all things COVID because he's got to have it now, but he's never had it.
Well, okay. During the break, I was looking at the BDM page. And by the way, if you want to get invited to the BDM beach party that's happening in September, we were going to send the invites out this week, but we got delayed because of the whole COVID thing. So we'll send it out soon. But anyway, subscribe at tomandan.com. Anyway, on the BDM page, I noticed that Cactus Steve made a post, and he's like, "I'm flying solo today. I went to the Springs," and he showed a picture of the Springs.
Oh, is it thong? Is he sniping butts?
No.
Oh man.
It was just a picture of the spring. I don't even know what spring it was, but it got me thinking. And let me ask you guys this: I have never gone to an outdoor. I'm trying to think, like maybe a movie one time in college. I went by myself in between like college classes or whatever. But
I've only been to one movie by myself.
But I've never been to like a park or a spring or like gone to a theme park or like done some activity.
Well, you're
that
codependent.
Normally...
we talk about this.
I love it.
But
You're basically a baby.
No, but do people go places and enjoy nature by themselves?
This
Yes.
one over here,
Hello.
Andrea will be like, so today when I was at the park, or she'll be like, I went to Francesco's today and had gnocchi by myself, and I'm like,
I used to go to, if Maisie had to, if she had school and Daniel was working and I had a day off, I'm at the Disney park by myself.
Yeah.
Because you can get so much done. I can go out there and I can walk around. I can do whatever I want. And there's nobody there
yeah, she does it all the time.
giving me an agenda. It's my own thing. I'll go ride the monorail. There's a park.
Imagine you being able to go to the dog track and bet anything you want. Imagine just you're there, no one's bothering you.
That blew his mind.
Like imagine you're at the dog track and you've got nothing but things to bet on surrounding you, including the live dogs, and you've got an ice cold beer and your wife, no kids, and you literally have 3 hours of pure gambling.
Well, okay, so I'll put.
You wouldn't know what to do.
No, he
you
doesn't.
wouldn't know what to do with yourself.
No, I'll put watching sports as not really like by myself. Like, yeah, I'll do that all day long. Like, I'll go to a sports bar and have beers and watch sports. But
You
like,
will?
But then you're around people, like the other people that are at the bar. You're talking to them.
No,
You're
Sam,
interacting
I'm not
with
talking
them.
to them.
No, Sam just called you out because I think Sam, and I'll throw myself in her court as well. I've never seen a scenario where you've ever gone and watched. Now, fantasy football, I'll give you that. But I can't picture a time when you've just gone to like a Beef O'Brady's and you're sitting there.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't done that, but I'm talking about. I found it weird to like go to the springs.
It is
Dude,
weird.
my friend Crystal, she travels to other states by herself. And she'll go hiking in mountains and camp by herself.
Well,
and I'm
that's
like, I
just
would never be able to do
irresponsible.
that.
That's just irresponsible.
Well, no, it feels like
She loves adventure.
no. I just feel like I couldn't have fun by myself.
What?
Like it wouldn't be fun to me. Like I have fun if other people around me, if like people
Yeah.
I'm with.
You're the
have
fun guide.
No, but it's weird.
Man, you got to
Like,
find some inner peace, man.
I don't know. It's weird. It's like I would never in a million years go to like I would never take my boat out by myself and just drive around.
Okay, so here's
Like,
where you and
Neil
I
does that all the time, and I'm jealous of it.
I'm like Neil, and Andrea can attest because I'm trying to because I see what you're saying, and I don't fault you for this at all, man. Like because the chat room is literally just shredding you because they're all like, you hate yourself. They think you hate yourself. Like all this, and I'm like,
He can't be alone.
Everybody slow down. But I will
With
get
his
in,
own
I will
thoughts.
get in my new car, my Tesla. I'll get in the Tesla and to test things and the self-driving and all the little, and I will drive all around Orlando and the surrounding areas by myself, listening to my favorite music and podcasts and stuff that I like alone. And it is very fun. It's just like driving a boat. It's like driving a spaceship all around town. And
well, that's a little bit different in the fact that like when I'm driving around, I'll listen to podcasts. And
no, but I'm only doing it purely to drive. There's no purpose.
Yeah.
I'm not going somewhere. I'm not running errands. I'm literally just driving. I'm burning electricity.
I used to go and sit at there's a park in Winter Park that I love so much. I would go there, sit there for like an hour just to like collect my thoughts and to just kind of center myself.
Tom doesn't want to collect his thoughts.
But
too much.
His
Daniel
thoughts are in
and
his garage. They're spread everywhere.
Daniel and I realized, like we've talked about it recently, how we're like, okay, we need to go to separate spaces of the house sometimes because we cannot, we love each other very much, but two people shouldn't, be around each other that much.
Yeah, you start fighting and you get in each other's asses.
And you're like, oh, it's because we've been around each
Yeah.
other so much, so let's take our separate
Yeah, so she'll go to the park and read a book, or I'll go drive my car around, or like I'll go wash the car with Maisie, and you'll go, I don't know, you went to the running shoe store for a couple hours. And
that's blowing his mind.
Maybe I should learn to enjoy things.
Try it
by
out.
myself.
Try
I
it
don't
out
know.
one time. Give yourself a solo adventure and see how it goes.
Now, I wouldn't start with the overly creepy Cactus Steve going to the springs by myself, because I think that's
what if you
little...
just take the boat out by yourself one day for a couple hours?
He'll never do it.
I won't because
He
I don't.
won't.
it's not fun for me unless there's other people and like
It ain't no
But you
fun
do-
unless the homies have some.
But he does-
Snoop Dogg.
But he does like working in his yard with his headphones in by himself. It's just taking that next
Yeah, but his
step.
family is like 5 feet
Yeah.
away.
He likes to have his thumb on them in case they, so he can, slap them around.
No,
No.
I understand that it's good to get away and be by yourself. I just don't enjoy
Now-
it.
Why don't you start fishing?
On the no, he gets too impatient to fish.
Yeah.
His
Again,
ADD would go crazy if he was
Yeah.
fishing.
I'll fish with other people, but I have no.
He won't shut the fuck up though. That's the problem.
And the fish won't
God
bite.
damn, Sam.
Like I wouldn't have fun fishing by myself. Like I would find no
That
joy.
sounds-
It'd be boring.
I got to tell you, that sounds amazing to me. I think that sounds incredible. Like before, I went to my shrink yesterday, right? Before I got to my shrink, I pulled in and I had a little time to kill. So I loaded up the Netflix and I just sat there and I watched something that I wanted to watch. And it was pretty awesome just being by myself. And I did a meditation. I did a guided meditation. Pretty good.
I don't think Tom, have you ever done a meditation?
He
You
hates
meditate?
them. He hates them.
No, I can't.
we forced him to do one once with us
And
in
he got
studio before we recorded, and he hated it.
Now, are you the only person that doesn't do something by yourself? Because your wife, she very much enjoys her time, right?
Yeah, but she'll go to a concert.
Yeah. She'll go by herself.
I mean, she. The last time she went to like Red Rocks, but she did go with her stepbrother to the actual concert, but she flew there by herself. But
Maybe you guys are just people.
I don't know. It's weird. So, like, are you getting into a float, like a tube, and then just floating down the river by yourself?
Hell yeah, that sounds awesome.
That does sound pretty awesome.
Who are you talking to?
Nobody.
I want to not talk to anybody.
Oh my god, we talk for a living.
Yeah, I
I would
kind
just
of.
put some headphones in and float.
Yeah,
But
that does sound pretty
need
nice.
I need to see other people having fun to realize that it's fun that we're having.
Wow.
Well, what if there's other people in the springs that are floating? You just don't know them. They're having fun.
So wait a minute. If you got to the spring and had your floaty and had your swimsuit on and your towel, you put your tube in and you get in. If there are no other people there and you have the river to yourself, you're not going to know what to do.
Well, I would be like, well, why am I here? There's a long way to just come here by myself. And then I'm like,
There's a deeper meaning to this that we need to get a true.
He's got to get therapy.
Well, Samantha, he's not going to go, so we're going to need to get the therapy to
know.
come here and then have somebody analyze this because we have stumbled upon something. This is truly fascinating. Like, I know that I'm fascinating to a lot of people because I know I'm crazy. Shit, I know it. But this to me is just as crazy.
Mm-hmm.
This is crazy that you can't be alone
So,
in the tube.
Christine in the chat room brought up a good point. Is it because he cares so much what other people think? So if he's somewhere alone and people see him alone, they're going to be like, well,
No.
why is that guy
Yeah,
alone?
he must be a pedophile.
He
He's
must
alone.
be a weirdo.
Yeah.
I promise you it's not that. I promise you it has nothing to do with it's. I wouldn't enjoy it. Like it wouldn't.
How do you know? You've never done it.
It would be no motivation
Is it
for
scary?
me.
Is the thought of being alone scary to you and you take that scared kind of feeling and turn it into, well, I won't have fun?
White Claw Tracy says she's like Tom. She can't be alone. She hates it. So she'll hang out with you.
I don't find like there's no motivation for me to go out and experience things alone. Like I like.
Yeah, but you're quiet. So, like, when you're at the studio by yourself here, are you okay by yourself doing your thing?
Oh, he loves it.
Or would you rather have me and Sam here just being quiet so you know we're in the other room? Do you see what I'm saying?
That's work. Like I can do work by myself.
Okay.
I could. I can go out and do yard work all day long by myself.
But you
That's
couldn't
fine.
go to you couldn't zip into an ale house, slide in, go up to the bar, order a burger, sit there.
Right. Sit at the bar,
Watch
yeah.
the Dolphins game, eat your burger, drink your beer, and then leave and just have fun. You couldn't do that.
Yeah, I could do that because I'm watching sports and I do like watching sports, especially sports I gambled on, or I wouldn't be watching it. I wouldn't watch sports if
What about
I
going
don't
to
have
the
money on
Orlando
it.
City game by yourself? I've done this before.
Mm-hmm.
What about just going to the game, sitting in your seat, enjoying the game by yourself?
No, could never do it.
Okay, interesting.
Because I
That is
wouldn't
interesting.
have fun. I want to experience the fun of the event with other people. Like
You're surrounded by people.
Yeah, but people I know, it's weird. This may be a weird thing. Like if we take out the boat, I'd rather I get more enjoyment taking out new people on the boat that haven't experienced like the river or whatever place we're going. Like
I'm waiting for the invite.
You know, my
Well, you wanna go?
my dad was very
I'm
much
going tomorrow.
My dad was
Tomorrow,
like this.
you have COVID.
It was fine.
My dad was like this.
Everybody on the river has COVID.
My dad was like you like being a host. You like hosting the people on the boat and seeing them enjoy it, and then that gives you like a jolt.
Right.
My dad was like that, very much like that. In that alone, my dad would never be on the ski boat by himself. He'd be on the ski boat with me because I'd be having fun and he'd be enjoying. There's a similarity there, and I don't know what it is, but there's something there.
And you know what's weird too is like even with skiing, like Crystal will have fun. Like some days, like if we got the kids and the kids are tired of skiing, Crystal will be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go all the way up and do a run by myself," and she'll have fun doing that.
That's
just
balls,
skiing by herself.
man.
That's normal for people.
Yeah.
I would never do that because I wouldn't have fun snowboarding down the mountain by myself. That's weird, right? Like I would get there's no motivation for me to go and do fun
Well, what's
things.
the motivation when you're skiing with someone? Just that they see you skiing?
No, I like to see them enjoy themselves. That gives me the joy of the experience.
You're a voyeur. You like to watch people
Because-
fucking, and then that's how you come.
Skiing's a pretty solitary sport
Right.
too. Because
So you would never
Give you a
so
round.
golf would never be a sport for you because the only way you could play is in a twosome or a foursome. You'd never go out and just hit balls by yourself.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Oh my God. Oh my
I've never-
God, dude.
I'm not motivated to do anything by myself, and it may be.
Well,
like,
that's
I never
why. Then
lived-
that's probably why you didn't do football, soccer, the normal things. Because if you did that and you wanted to play at a decent level, you'd have to go out and practice by yourself, right?
No, that's lack of talent and laziness.
No, you're not. But you're not lazy. So that's weird, man. It is weird. It is very, very interesting.
So this can I bring up one of the other stories? It kind of parlays.
No, you're bored?
No, it kind of parlays. So
This bitch is bored.
a Chick-fil-A in North Carolina wrote on their Instagram or their social media, "We are looking for volunteers for our new drive-through express. You can earn 5 free entrees per 1 hour shift worked. Message us for details." This has caused a whole crazy because a Chick-fil-A is asking for volunteers to work for them.
Well, you're getting food.
You're getting 5 free entrees per shift.
So it's not free. You're getting fed, right?
But you're not getting money for
well, I mean,
working.
what if you don't want money? What if you want Chick-fil-A sandwiches?
Well, there's a thing called the Fair Labor Standards Act.
Just whatever. Do whatever you want to do for whatever money or food you want to do it for, and just shut the fuck up.
Isn't it though more work to train someone for 1 hour of work?
I wonder
because you're gonna have to teach them how to do something, right?
Well, I mean, if this is a drive-through express, or are you just handing food after people have made it? You're just running food,
like
basically.
Check the car, hand them the bag.
Probably.
Yeah.
Check the order or something. But so this Hendersonville location is run by a franchisee. They have said that it's a volunteer-based opportunity, was intended for people who think it is a good fit for them, and argued it was different from full and part-time employment. They had multiple people sign up, and it was voluntary. But Chick-fil-A corporate said that the store has now decided to end this program.
Yeah, because they probably leaned on them, right?
It's a sign of the times, obviously, because that story with them letting veterans like come in and be like substitute teachers without any education and stuff. Like I got some friends that are teachers. Like Andres was like, he's been a teacher in a special needs school.
He's worked his ass off.
Principal.
Yeah, he's worked his ass off and worked his way up the ladder
and he's like, I'm still paying off my master's degree in education, and he's like, and then he's not mad. He's like, more power to any veteran that's willing to come in the classroom. But it's like, but it's like they have no other choice because they have this huge teacher shortage, and they just need bodies in there to at least give some sort of hand out the papers or whatever.
Oh God, I hope Grizz starts teaching.
Oh
That was
God.
the first thing I thought of. I was like, Teacher Grizz.
I feel bad for people with kids because I'm just like, this is not good. Like, we already have a shitty like educational system in Florida anyway, and it's like, oh, now we're just like, hey, come sit in and job shadow for a couple hours, and now you can be a teacher.
I like it because I hope that Tommy's next year's teacher.
All right, you maggots.
Is a grizzled Vietnam vet that seeing atrocities.
Oh, it'll toughen them up.
And
I saw a little Viet Cong girl pop out of a hut fully naked, titties hanging out. All right, open the textbook.
Like some crazy old grizzled man, totally inappropriate, using every slang, horrible racist word in the world, and just people are like, well, we got to have him here because he's a veteran.
He's like, we can still say Oriental, right? Oh no, okay, all right, we'll write that down.
Hey, congrats on your retirement. Sorry, that was just for you, buddy.
It's crazy that and it's funny that they're like, really they're saying they'll take anybody, but they're like, well, you only use veterans.
Well, no, it's also their spouses too.
Oh, those spouses.
Yes, it's
so you just be married to a veteran.
Yeah,
correct.
What qualification?
No, but that's
Nothing.
how all the veteran stuff is, and I'm not hating on it, but like it's like the commercials that Gronk does. We talked about these
military
yesterday.
family.
Yeah, military families. Like so,
So you could have your pop teaching kids. You could have had him.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be so awesome. Oh my God, not bad at all. They'd learn a lot from him. Learns a hard work,
but again,
dedication.
There's a reason we got to this point is because it's emergency. Like they need people in there to at least hand out the papers, and they have no other way to do it. It's like, obviously we've gotten to a point in society where there's a problem, and this is the only fix because there has to be a person in there to, go through.
Well, the fix is to pay the goddamn teachers more, but nobody wants to do that.
Well, that's a harder fix, and society couldn't get to that point.
They couldn't agree on that, right?
This is a Band-Aid, obviously, that is thrown together at the last minute.
So basically, we're saying fuck them kids, right? Because fuck their education, yeah.
Now, I'm sure this will, spawn some sort of reaction, and maybe years from now, that's the thing, that it takes too long to change. So,
who knows what's going to happen?
So this may be creating some outrage, and then creating them to change some things and pay teachers more. But the problem is that will be rectified, years from now, and maybe it'll get better. But for right now, we're just going to have substitute teachers in there with no, education.
Not even substitutes, like real teachers.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's, the substitute teachers, you could be a substitute teacher with just a regular degree of anything, right? Like I could be a substitute teacher if I apply for it.
Dude,
I have a
do you
4-year
remember
degree.
some of your substitute teachers? I don't think a lot of those people had degrees.
Let's talk about that for a second, because we had this old man named Mr. Tunis. And Mr. Tunis, yeah, Mr. Tunis, like extra tunas, and he was like a little old man that was like stuck in the '60s. And when he came in, he came in to like it's like we had a love-hate relationship with him. When he came in, he was dressed like Don Knotts from Three's Company, like all polyester and like bell-bottom, like he had like polyester bell-bottom pants and like a polyester shirt and a ascot, like a kerchief. And the kids were just like, they were so fucking mean to him. Oh. They'd like throw shit at him and bully him and demasculize him and call him like all kinds of names, and he'd just sit up there and take it, and it would bother the shit out of me. But boy, did I love it when he'd show up. I'd be like, oh fuck yeah, Mr. Tunis is here. I don't have to do shit. But I felt bad for him.
Right.
Even having some degree doesn't mean shit anyway. I've got a degree.
That's true.
I'm dumb as shit. I can barely spell. Like, it's like, so you don't even need to be. I think the general stipulation for even a substitute is I think maybe an AA or something like that is like what you is the least.
I honestly don't even think you have to have that to be a substitute.
I don't think you need an AA. I think you just need to go through the qualifications to be a substitute.
You have to go through some, like if you don't have a degree, you maybe have to go through some online course or some
I
shit
think
like
that's
that.
correct, but I don't think you need an AA to be a substitute. I think you can be a substitute with a high school education.
Because they're not actually teaching. They're just like, hey, this is the papers I was told to give out. Yeah, they're babysitting.
Yeah, you're executing the lesson plan that the teacher, the curriculum that they had in place.
And that's essentially what they're doing now, right? With saying that we'll take anybody, a veteran or veteran's wife, because we just need bodies in there to hand out the lesson plan. Or we just need a human to hand out the lesson. When does it go full robot? I mean, it's happening, right? I mean,
they already got the iPads, right? I mean, that's close.
We fucked up our society so much without paying the teachers a fair amount that there's not enough of them. So now we're in a crisis, and I imagine that they'll try to figure out some sort of robotic.
How will the robot discipline, though? Man, that's like, you're not.
Well, there's a ton of like online classes already that you don't even really deal with a teacher. It's just like, here's your assignments, here's your tests,
Oh yeah. That's a scam too that the colleges have done for years that I think is coming back to bite them, especially. And COVID kind of legitimized it too because it forced people to do that.
And it was okay.
But you start looking and you're like, well, I'm paying a lot of money to do all this myself. I'm paying a shit ton of money for a degree that I'm literally just going online and taking all the classes and doing all myself. Like I could probably get this education on the internet, right? Like you don't need the college to get the same information. Nowadays, you could just go on the internet and learn anything you want, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. People are already doing it. I mean, maybe we'll see we're already seeing a massive change in what would be considered jobs, right? Everybody's either got a new job, isn't working, or is seriously considering a shift in what they want to do. You'll probably see that with education too, right? You'll see the college system and the value that it has in the workplace. Probably already devalued, right? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it already was for me. Like, I can't say that my degree that I did finish knocked down doors for me. What really knocked down doors for me was people be like, oh shit, this guy's got a lot of hours in. He knows what he's talking about. So it's just like I'm just like a welder, except I weld fart jokes. Right? I mean, like people are like, oh, he's got a lot of time in. He's been doing this a long time. His beads are good. Like he does a decent job.
Right.
A good old reliable Danny can fart weld some mufflers on, like I am a reliable fart welder.
Well, at this point, and at a certain age, does your degree even matter?
No.
If this thing burned up and we had to go out and get real jobs.
This is close. This COVID shows real close.
I put down in my on my application that I got a business degree from UCF, but it was like I graduated in 2006 or whatever. Like the business wasn't even the same back then. And then what I learned is already antiquated and shit. It's like all changed. The fucking 2006, there wasn't even, Twitter just started.
Yes, but you have real life experience in running a business. So it kind of doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. On my resume, it'd be like, this, that would matter more than the stupid degree at this point.
Correct.
To anybody smart enough to realize that, or would the degree even, I guess if it was between me and someone else that ran a business with no degree, I guess they'd choose me because of the degree, but really it's stupid because they'd be like, well, what does this have? I guess it's just a tiny, a bit more than the other guy. So that's what beat you in the race.
I tuned out when you said choose me or the degree and it rhymed and I went, ha, 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 ha. I laughed a little bit in my mind and then it shut off. I was like, do we want to do a makeshift, what do you got? You got another story? You want to do one more?
Yeah, I just had one more, but I don't know if you guys had talked about this. The Brooklyn pastor and his wife, he was preaching, and they have video of it. He was preaching when gunmen came into his church service and stole his $400,000 in jewelry. This is in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw the video of that, and he's one
of those very showy pastors, and they robbed him, and they came in and they got into a white Mercedes and left and took all of his jewelry. And he says, it's not about me being flashy. It's about me purchasing what I want to purchase. It's my prerogative to purchase what I want to purchase.
When you're quoting Bobby Brown.
Yeah. And I worked hard for it. I can purchase what I want to purchase. And so He
I like him. I like anybody that has lots of jewelry that they keep on him at all times. Who was the NFL guy?
they just got it all taken.
Yeah, he got it all taken. He had it in his Rolls Royce, and they stole it. I'm sorry. Everybody will disagree with me. I like guys that have crazy jewelry. Like Riff Raff, he has a necklace around his neck that's Patrick Star from SpongeBob, and it's all diamonds. I like that stuff. I'm not going to do that stuff, but I like that stuff.
So it was recently on June 22nd, Major League Baseball shortstop Wander Franco from the Tampa Bay Rays had $650,000 of jewelry stolen from his Rolls Royce in Jacksonville.
Yeah, he had it in his car. That's awesome.
He was on a rehab assignment
in your car,
and he was rehabbing from a quadricep injury, and he had $650,000 worth of jewelry stolen.
I think that's cool.
Why? In your car? Are you stuffing it under the seat like,
I don't know.
Your wallet you do when you run into the store or something?
I'm sure you have it insured, but in the insurance, I'm sure there's some stipulations about like if you're irresponsible with it or whatever. I don't know. Like you maybe in the clause in the because the insurance company is not going to blindly insure something for $650,000 and have you be irresponsible enough to leave it in your car and get it stolen, and then they pay you. I'm sure there's clauses of like, hey, if you leave this out and it gets stolen, then we're not going to pay it or something. But as far as what was the story before that?
The pastor.
The pastor.
How does if you're a pastor for a church, right? Like the church gets donations, and that's how the organization runs. It's kind of like a non-profit, right? The non-profit gets donations to run, and then the owner, the CEO of the non-profit, they get a salary, obviously, to run that non-profit. That's your job. So the same thing with a pastor, right? The pastor just gets a salary from the church, but the church is funded by donations. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah. But this guy has I forget his first name, but Whitehead also owns a mortgage and real estate company. So that's he's a pastor, but not a full-time pastor. But he still preaches online, and he works for the Leaders of Tomorrow International Church.
So if he got the jewelry from his own businesses, it's less egregious than if he got the jewelry from his salary from the donations from the church, because that's where it gets like, for years, anytime they show like the evangelical preacher,
what's his name? Joel Osteen.
Yeah, he's got alligator boots and he's driving on a Rolls Royce, and then you're like, well, why are you living this lavishly?
It's righteous gemstones at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Exactly. And so that's the problem with being a flashy preacher, is everybody's going to look at you like you're stealing the donations that people gave the church for something good, and for the church to be something good, and you bought alligator boots.
Or maybe that's the only reason you have the other job of the mortgage company, is so when people say that, because it's calculated and they will, you can just say, well, no, you're crazy. It's for my mortgage business. That's why, it's literally like a shell company at that point, right? I mean, you can do whatever you want to with your Christian lemmings, or, you could steal all their money and just blame it on the mortgage thing.
Is it like, are churches transparent with their books? Like,
no, I don't think they have to be. Not until they
don't have to report to the IRS, so why would they have to?
I don't think they have to be until they're investigated for possibly doing something fraudulent.
Because I know like nonprofits, they have to be transparent with the books with the IRS, obviously. So I wonder if churches work the same. It's weird that
I've always wanted to start a fake charity and just steal a lot of money.
There's a lot of things that are considered nonprofits that are,
like if our company starts losing money, we're a nonprofit.
It's a
right.
You need to go through get your 501c3 affiliation, and then
that's hard to get, because there's been so many scammers that they've tightened up on that. It's also hard to become a actual like church or
thanks
religion.
A lot, Scientology.
Scientology fucked it all up.
Yeah, Scientology was the last big one to get in there, and everybody and like the government looks like idiots for even letting them do it.
They're still trying to
take tightened
it away.
Up now, though.
Yeah, they're still trying to retrofit a way out of that. I think they're trying.
They can't. Yeah. Well, good luck because now they've amassed so much property.
Yeah.
That
they're powerful now.
$100 billion. So now they can start paying off fucking politicians. And
I
shit.
mean, true Scientology question. Not to get on that, and I know we're getting to the end here, but do we know where David Miscavige is?
We just don't know where his
I
wife
don't think
is.
so.
Remember,
but
his wife is the one.
I
That's,
thought
like,
he also
missing.
fell off the face of the earth. Like they haven't seen.
He does that every once in a while. Yeah, he'll dip out for a while.
Does he still pop up at that big end of the year celebration where they hang the medals on each other and they salute each other like they're in the army and stuff? Man, I got to tell you right now.
A couple years he passed that on to Tom Cruise.
Yeah, well,
and he was doing it.
Andrea will pull those up on YouTube because they're all over YouTube. You can watch them all. And I'll tell you what, if you want to get sucked into some shit, start watching those Scientology ceremonies. They're so good. Oh, man, they're good. I mean, it is just straight propaganda. It is like, wow.
Yeah.
It is so good.
There hasn't been any news about Miscavige in a while.
Yeah, I think he's laying low again. Like
he's laying low.
You haven't heard.
Well, the Danny Masterson thing.
That was bad.
That was bad for them, and they just Clearwater Affordable Housing Project is dead. The land could go to Scientology.
Would he be considered a religious zealot? I don't know what that
cult leader. Yeah.
I knew as soon as you said that word.
Yeah. He doesn't know zealot, but he can sure sell it. We'll be right back.
With dictators and sometimes like the heads of religion that's like figureheads or whatever, like sometimes they get cancer or old and they're about to die and they hide them away.
Yeah, like Putin.
And they pretend like he's still strong. He was just playing basketball.
That's what they did with that's what they did with Tony from Leave It to Beaver. The day before he died, they're like, he's still alive. How dare you declare him dead? And then the next day, there he's dead.
Oh,
I mean, they did that with L. Ron Hubbard too, but also not only the Masterson stuff, but with all the stuff with Leah Remini and all that coming out. And like talking about the church and about how his wife has been missing. Like, I think that's another reason why he's laying low.
The best part about L. Ron Hubbard, though, is the fact that this guy claimed to be a genius, wrote, hundreds of books, had a Navy, for Christ's sake. Still does, I guess. I mean, I guess they still have the...
Right, they have to dress in.
Yeah, the Sea Org. They still got to dress in the weird thing. And this motherfucker had black teeth. I see this every time, but it's the funniest thing to me. How can you become that powerful and command people, and people are like doing your bidding, and they think that you're this knowledgeable, like almost like you're a deity, and they look in your mouth and it stinks, and it's got big black holes, and there's fucking funguses and shit falling out.
So much money.
But I'm telling you, if I was there, let's say I'm so stupid that I'm wearing the outfit, right? I got the full outfit on, and I'm like, yes sir, Sea Org, yes sir. There'd be a part of me, I'd look at his mouth, I'd be like, that motherfucker's got some disgusting ass fucking teeth.
He's more focused on getting clear rather than doing his teeth.
It's weird when you got okay, if you're my boss, you better have decent teeth.
When people are brainwashed.
Because I look at you and I'm like, you're not smart. If you all you got to do is brush them a little bit. And you got all this money and you can't go get dentistry. You can't go get them.
Right.
Just get fake ones.
Why don't you guys go to a go-to show in Clearwater, downtown, walk around?
You don't want to fuck with that.
Yeah.
No, I think
that's how you lose Sam. That's how the next thing you know, somebody's tailing her and she's like, guys, I'm out.
They used to do that. Now I don't think they can anymore because they got such a bad name and they did that for so long that it's all out in the open that I think they stopped doing the whole tailing.
I don't think so.
Really?
They've had no repercussions for what they've done.
Yeah.
So why would they stop?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they've had
it's just not in the news.
Bad publicity from it.
Doesn't matter. Hasn't stopped them for years.
Somebody in the Twitch chat room just said that L. Ron Hubbard might be the most published author of all time.
Maybe because they publish all their own stuff over and over.
I remember seeing, and somebody else in the chat room just said teeth are expensive. Look, I get it, guys, and I was very lucky to have parents that put tooth quality and dentistry very high on the list.
Whoever said teeth are expensive?
Yeah, the motherfucker had. He had like 5 boats he owned at one.
Teeth are expensive.
Yeah, but they have Scientology is worth $100 billion.
Yeah, my point is he has every bit of he could have gone in and said, give me the full fake chompers that don't rot out. Just give me the full dentures, the whatever. Put them in there. Give me the implants, whatever. And he could, but he didn't.
To unlimited money, unlimited.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse.
Yeah.
That's
No,
what Dan,
not for him,
Dan-
no.
Yeah, that's why Daniel's been driven crazy by this.
It
because
does
of
drive
why
me
not fix your
crazy
teeth.
because they'll do the interviews with him in these Leah Remini show, and he'll be like, Zeno does not care about, and he's talking, and you see all this
You can see
rotting.
the smoke come out of his mouth.
Yeah, it's just like it's like a rotting volcano. It's horrifying.
Okay.
The simple answer is he is insane.
Well, he's a narcissist, right? Because he's like, I can have these terrible teeth, and all these people are still going to follow me anyway.
Ooh. All right, I like that, Sam.
It's just pure insanity.
Power move.
Yeah, I think that why he doesn't get his teeth fixed is the same reason he thinks all this crazy shit he thinks.
Right.
It's, all insane.
The person in your chat room was correct. On the Guinness Book of World Record website, the most published works by one author is 1084 by L. Ron Hubbard, whose first work was published in February of 1934 and last published in March
God
of 2006.
2006 is when he finally stopped publishing.
First book was 1934. God.
Yeah.
He died in 86, but so
That's
he's like publishing books after his
Oh.
death.
Yeah,
Posthumously.
that's a lot of crazy.
That is.
It's insane that Tom Cruise still
There's
is
lots of
affiliated
celebs.
with him.
Oh, you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. How
Again,
could this
no
be in the
repercussions.
contract?
It's like with all the like public opinion of Scientology. What are the percentage of Americans that think Scientology is nutty? 85%? Higher?
Probably higher.
Yeah, probably
90
higher. Probably 90%.
90%. I mean, if you just went to the theme park,
85 might be pretty good because there are other nations that may not know what it is. I'm trying to help you hit the actual number here, but yeah, 85 sounds good.
Like, that's a huge, overwhelming number of people that think this whole thing is nuts.
Yeah.
And then you're still behind it. That's a strong, whatever it did to Tom Cruise or the power it has over him. And the guy is still Top Gun, this last Top Gun movie was gigantic, right? Like a huge hit.
Has everybody
loved
seen
it.
that? Can we talk about that? I haven't seen it.
I
I haven't seen it, but I don't care.
I want to see it, but who is he fighting who are we fighting in the
I don't
movie?
know.
Is it terrorists? Is it terrorists? Sort of North Korea, sort of Russia. Who are we fighting in the movie?
The things I saw on social media, people are like, it's good. It's a Top Gun movie.
I haven't seen this, but Val Kilmer's son or Goose's son, they got a kid in there, right? Or is it Maverick's kid? Right? They do a kid thing. They got to do a kid thing. Haven't seen it.
Goose's son.
Oh, Goose's son. See, I'm telling you, I could
Gosling.
write this dumb shit.
Yeah. And still more like than Will Smith.
Yeah.
Even though the Scientology is 85% considered crazy amongst our
Will
entire
Smith has
population.
ties to Scientology too.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
He should-
Yeah, but
stayed
he
there.
did not get a pass like Tom Cruise does apparently.
You shall not pass. He should have stayed in Scientology, and I'd like him better. Do you guys want to get out of here?
Let's get out of here. Sam,
yeah,
what
plug
are we?
some
You got any semantics this weekend?
Yes. So tomorrow, Saturday, we're gonna be recording our after party, which is technically our Patreon show, but we didn't do it this week. So we're gonna record it at Rock Pit Brewing tomorrow afternoon. If you want to swing by, you can say hi. In the back, if you're watching, I have boxes full of Semantics t-shirts and Semantics beer glasses. If you want to buy one of those, semanticspodcast.com. And I'll see you guys tonight at Cafe Da Vinci.
All righty. Let's see here. The featured merch of the week is the T&D Racing hat. $10 off of that hat. You can get it right now for $20. There are a few left. It is limited. So if you want that, jump on it now. I will be at the True Phonic and Little Stranger concert with Sam tonight, so you'll see us there. Go to bookairtnd.com. Tom, how's that booking? We got a lot of weekends filled up, right?
Yeah, it was actually really booked in July. And there's some weekends in August open, and September and October, a few weekends here and there. But weekdays are generally open. It's $125 a night, and like I said, it's walking distance to West End. 3 minutes right there.
Indeed.
Also, we're doing Shart Week on Monday for a BDM show.
Oh yes.
It's our 9th annual Shart Week. This is
Please try and get your submissions in by tomorrow, so I can pick and choose.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry, Sam.
We got a lady, We got Canadian Josh. We got Joey Mazant.
Oh
we got a lot
God,
of people
Joey,
that have already
no,
emailed.
Joey, Josh, no. What are you doing? Not people that are on the show or part of the. No.
You can't say their name before you read it because you don't want to be biased.
That's true. That's true. We won't.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll keep it anonymous.
Good call.
So it'll be Monday, and that'll be our BDM show. So all right, guys. Like we said, thanks for sticking with us this week.
Appreciate it.
It's not our favorite way to do these shows mobily, but we got through it.
Yeah,
and,
not bad.
At least we got it done. So Daniel, thank you for setting this up mobily.
My pleasure. I hopefully did you guys okay, and great job everybody, and we will see you next week.